I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water, no matter how hard I try. Every turn I take, every trail I trek, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know, where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong, I'll be satisfied if I play along, but the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light as it shines on the sea, it's blinding, but no one knows how deep it goes. And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line? See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go. Hello everyone, welcome to the QuvarTV show for the evening. I will be your Quvar for a short period of time, we'll see how long that lasts. Pleasure to see you all, thanks for being here, I didn't see you there. Yes.
Hero.
You're my hero. Oh, thank you, Sky, for joining the Quvar Army, but harder this time, with money. Thank you, you're a sweetheart. And also congratulations again, the love at first sight. You're so fast, so very, very fast. And hello, Toki. Hold on, let me put on my shout-out hat quick. Gotta do the whole... Check out Sky. They're wonderful, they're strong, they're powerful, they do some great stuff. And of course, check out... Oops. Oop, no. Shout out a hat. I know what I'm doing. Check out Toki. Toki, who stopped by here for a bit. Hopefully she'll be going to bed soon because it's very late. She has a big day tomorrow. Check her out. She'll be in a 12-hour non-a-thon, where she's going to do all kinds of super fun things. There's no donations or subs required to just do things, and things will happen. There are fun rewards and things. It's going to be a great time, I promise. There's going to be some karaoke as well. You get to see her beautiful self singing some wonderful songs. Who did it? How fucking dare you shout me out? It had to happen. It's a necessity. Do not worry. Yes, please check out Toki tomorrow. In 7 hours now, Toki? Why aren't you sleeping? You have 7 hours left. You gotta get some rest. You have a big day. I had to start with just a very, very small bit of Toki time because I saw that Toki was here and I know that she's gotta go to sleep! Go to sleep! But thank you for being here, Toki. It's very sweet of you. I always love seeing you. You always make me smile. Hello, Gore. Thank you for the guns. The bang, bang, bang. Hello, Sweet. I hope you're going to bed soon as well. It's late for you, too. All y'all motherfuckers need to sleep. Y'all motherfuckers need to sleep. I'm going to keep running with a bit as a nightlight. I still think it's funny. I'm not fully back on Twitch. I just want to say hi. Also, Discord. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm very glad to see you, and I hope that you're doing all right. And I appreciate you taking a short break from Twitch and still coming in to say hello and act as my nightlight. You know, I can't see very well in the dark, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Discord. And hello, Devi. Hello, hello, beautiful Q10. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. Is that a showering? Oh, that's a rave. Never mind. I thought it was like a showering emote for some reason. I got showers on the mind. Toki's here. What can I say? But thank you, Devi, for being here. And thank you so much for your kind words. I have not sang that song before. That was my first time, and I haven't listened to it a whole lot recently since I've watched Moana. It hasn't come up much on my playlists, but I'm gonna try to do it a little bit here and there because it's a Toki Time song, and Toki Time is a blessed time that we all need to practice as much as we can.
Who did it?
Who did it? Thank you, Sky, for the bit. Maybe Sweets will go to bed if you burb her. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how that works, Sky. Maybe. Maybe what, Toki? Maybe sleeping? I am sleeping. Is this a dream? Oh, Toki. You can't just take my lines like that. It doesn't work that way. Because we all know that you're the dream here. You are the living dream, the waking dream. You are sunshine incarnate. Hello, guy. Hello, Aslan King. How's it going? From Brazil. How's it going, Aslan King? You having a good time? Thanks for stopping by again. Lovely to see you. And hello, Taters. Taking notes again, I see. Always taking notes. Good old Taters. Good old Taters. How's everyone doing? Yes, how are all of you doing? Thank you, Toki, for reminding me to ask people what they're doing and how they're doing. It's late into Saturday for most people. It is sometimes it is actually Sunday for some people, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. So how's your weekend going? How are you doing? I am surviving day by night, night by day. The struggle is real, but the dream remains. Taking pains, not ruin this beautiful view of it. The past, present, and future bet. Taking pain from my own confusion. Even sorry, I shouldn't slip into that kind of stuff here and there, but I'm doing all right. I had a long day yesterday, but it ended in a beautiful way, playing some Pathfinder 2nd Edition with some wonderful people, such as Toki herself here and Tofu, Alexis, Croissant. It was a wonderful time. I had a great time with it, and I'm looking forward to some more voyages in the future. But I'm doing all right. I didn't sleep as much today as I would like, so it's gonna be a short stream. I'm gonna get some sleep, hopefully at some point. And I might not stream tomorrow. I was thinking about it, but I might just take tomorrow to go to bed after everything, because I got a lot going on tomorrow as well. We'll see. I'll figure it out as I go. I play it by ear, as it were. I tried to sleep for 3 hours now. No sleep tonight, I guess. Oh, sweet. Sleep can still happen. Sleep can still happen. It just may not be easy. Go to sleep or I'll put you to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Do you know where I think I'm going to delete Twitch for good and get rid of it all from my life, my mental health? I don't feel good watching it. I lost interest in general in a lot of communities, so bye. Oh yeah, absolutely, Discord. Do what you need to do for yourself. If Twitch is a problem for you, if it's damaging your mental health, absolutely take a break from it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for telling me. I hope to see you again someday, but if I do not, I will know that it is because you're doing it for your own sake. So good luck. I believe in you. Stay bright as you always are. Egvar. Playing video games. How dare you start? Hello, puppy. Hello, how's it going? Here, let me put on my shout-out hat. Everybody check out Pup, my sweet precious baby boy. What video games are you playing, puppy? What are you doing? What are you up to? Again, I tried for 3 hours today. It's not working, so I just lay here and try again and again. I really tried. Yeah, absolutely. Understood. I've had that happen before as well, sweet, so I understand the pain of it. Hopefully it will find you soon. Who did it? Thank you, Sky, for the bit. Shout out puppy again, you def should. I just did. We don't need to shout out multiple times. That's ridiculous. I just shouted out puppy. Maybe in a bit, later on. But one after the other, that's just silly. Doing good, Toki. Just finished eating dinner, taking care of my hair since it was recently dyed. How are you, Toki? Yeah, that's wonderful. What kind of dinner did you have, Devian? What color did you dye your hair? I hope that it is lovely and beautiful, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure it looks fantastic, is what I'm trying to say. Cracks knuckles. I can only crack, like, one knuckle sometimes. Hold on, I'm trying. My microphone should be able to pick it up if I can make it work.
Who did it?
Come on. Who did it? There. Did you hear that? That was my one knuckle crack. Thank you, Gore, for the bit. Every bit helps get you to space. It does. Thank you, Gore, for helping build me to space. I'm getting to space. We're going to space. Thank you, Gore. You're very sweet. You know, contrary to popular belief, bits are not, in fact, infinite, so watch out. But thank you so much. Let's see if I can... Oh, I got another knuckle crack. I got two. One on each hand. I did it. Okay, remember, we're here for you. Yes, we were all here for you, sweet. We had a blast. Nya. Wololololo. Wolololo. Nya. 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 I love Muffin. Muffin is a delight. I look forward to spending more time with Muffin, for sure. And your powerful connection with your religion. Yes, yes, yes. Much religion, very God. Wow, such wow. Meow.
You're my hero.
You're my hero.
Get it?
Oh, thank you, puppy, for subscribing again. Thank you for joining the Kuv Army once more, but harder this time with money. 7 months. Dang. Dang, 7 months. That's longer than I've been alive. Thanks, puppy. I appreciate it. Snake Angie. Lurk since I'm trying to actually sleep. Come by, go to sleep. Yes, yes, Togi, yes. Get some sleep. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking. I hope that you rest very well, and I know that you will shine as bright as the sun tomorrow morning. I believe in you. I believe in you so much, and I know it's going to be beautiful, and I hope to stop by for a short time. Sleep tight. Dream bright, Toki. Good night, good night. It's Friday. The Shrimpocalypse is happening. Shrimpocalypse? Eh? What Shrimpocalypse? I was playing Quaver. That's me! I'm the Quaver! Think you're trying best to stay clear, man. Sure, I forgot to tell you that's how I was stinking when I head back. When I had my burnout, forgot to say that I'm fully back on Twitch. I'm happy to watch it again. If you need to take time off tomorrow, that's completely fine. It's going to be Easter, baby. You said multiple times you're a rabbit. I think you said that. No, Discord, I'm not a rabbit. I babbit. I swab it. I just act like one. I swab it. You know who is not a rabbit, but is my favorite rabbit, is Toki. Check out Toki tomorrow. You can maybe see some rabbit ears. She's not a rabbit, but she has rabbit ears sometimes. That's good. That's good, Discord. I'm glad to hear it. And yes, tomorrow I have brunch plans with one half of my family. I'm watching the Batman film with my dad and brothers after that. Then I have dinner with my other half of the family. And then I have a short D&D session possibly because we're pushing it back a little bit because of Easter things. And then after that, I might stream, but I might sleep. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. That was a loud one. Wow. What was loud? Something was loud? What was loud? Do I need to adjust some volume somewhere? Had brisket and some matzah because it's currently Passover. Dyed my hair a teal color, but it's the underpart. Ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds really nice, Debbie. I love teal. Teal is a wonderful color, and the underpart hair dye stuff is always super neat to see. So I love that for you. I'm sure it looks fantastic. And that brisket sounds delicious. Matzah is something. Isn't that like matzo balls? Isn't that a thing? Matzah. Matzah. Yeah, the flatbread stuff. Yeah. Nice. Tasty. Love that for you. I hope your Passover is going well. Harder. What's that soldier in the gift doing? Sus. He's just waving a flag. He's just saluting and waving a flag. America for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. Oh, purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. I don't know the lyrics that well. The fact that I know them that much is an improvement over not at all, I suppose. Enjoy, please sleep. I will. Love Toki and his red and blue eyes. It's so cute. Toki is just cute in general. Toki is adorable. Toki is the epitome of cute and strong and big and strong and genius and wonderful and amazing. We love Toki. Knuckle cracking was really loud. Oh, was it? Dang. Huh. I guess my microphone picks up everything. There's no way to avoid it. Lurk and enjoy your lurk, Sky. I hope that you are enjoying your time. Have a beautiful time. Thank you for being here. Wow, good. 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 Have a wonderful lurk. Need to work for tomorrow's preparation, so must lurk. Yes, absolutely, Sky. Good luck. Get all your work done. I believe in you. You can do it. Beautiful singing. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Thank you for the tongues. I was waving the flag while I was singing that, so you might be able to hear it in my voice a little bit. Ah, shit. Okay, hold up. Taters, you. Potato-brained, smooth-handed, assless, big-eared, foot-eater, absolute bitch tits. You? How dare you spend an exorbitant amount of points just to call me cute. But you're not wrong. I'm so cute. I'm cute as fuck. I'm adorable. God damn it. How could I be so cute? How could one man be as cute as I am? It seems impossible, I know. It seems like we're living in a fantasy world. Somebody must have written this into a storybook for me to be this fucking cute. But it is true. This is the real life. It is not just fantasy. This is who I am, who we are, and I am cute as fuck. I'm so fucking cute. I'm so fucking cute. This is reality. This is not fantasy. I promise you. I am this cute. I really am. And you know what else? That reminds me of something. This is a different Toki Time thing that I was intending on doing at some point. A new one that I haven't done for Toki Time. I've done in the past. Wow. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, to me. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really matters. Too late, my time has come, sends shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. Goodbye everybody, I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind and face the truth. Mama, I don't wanna die. Sometimes I wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare him his life from this monstrosity. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let me go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. No, 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 no. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters, nothing really matters to me. Any way the wind blows. Thank you, Gore, for the applause. I appreciate it. See, I just got reminded of that and I couldn't stop myself. Had to do it a little bit, just a little bit. And, let's see, you've got this mother. Mother. Thank you for the applause as well. The secondary applause, sweet. Mother, I hunger. I require sustenance. Thank you, Sky, for redeeming this. Thank you so much. I hope all of you are prepared. I have another adventureful here. It's the brownie-inspired cookie with caramel and fudge stripes. I'm going to eat it for the...
Who did it?
Who did it? Who did it? Thank you, sweet, for the bit. What are we eating, Mommy? I told you. I told you. Oh. Okay. For those of you who are new here, for the lurkers, the poor innocent lurkers, for those of you with weak stomachs and weak constitutions, please feel free to mute for the next 30 seconds as I do this horrible thing, as I make this horrible mistake. As it is, though, come here. Gather around. Come to Mama, baby birds. Come here. Come here. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Open up. Here's your food. Why is it like this? I can't believe Sky corrupted me into doing this kind of thing. It was all her idea. She propagated it. If it wasn't for her, this wouldn't happen. She's the one who wants it to happen all the time. Queen of burping. There you go. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your food, you filthy animals. Not cute. Roar. Toki, you can say you're not cute as much as you want, and you might be able to fool some people, but you cannot fool me. No way, no how. I know. I have eyes. I have many, many eyes. Who did it? Thank you, Sky, for the bit. No, it's your idea. Couldn't be me. I have no ideas. But I can see you, Toki. I can see you, and I can see how beautiful you are, and I can see how cute you are, and adorable you are, and smart you are, and strong you are. You are amazing, and you cannot deny it. Feed. Give it to me, Mommy. Uh-huh. What are you gonna play today? I'm not entirely sure, Toki. I have some ideas. I'm thinking I could play some Inscription. Because there's infinite Inscription at this point. I could play some more Elden Ring because we do love Billiam. I did kind of get an inkling today because I love spooky, scary horror games. And I did get a little inkling like maybe I'll play a spooky, scary horror game today because, you know, that's kind of fun. And I haven't done that in a while. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I played something really spooky, so I might try to do that. We'll see. I have some thoughts. But you're supposed to be sleeping, Toki. You're supposed to wrap yourself up in a nice, comfy, cozy blanket. Lie down. I'm not available to drag you to bed right now, Toki. I can't do that. All I can do is advise you to go to bed. I can't drag you there myself. Not today. Wow, you really struggle with the bad naming. I do. It's tough. It's very difficult. Oh, I usually get compliments on my ass. How dare you? Yeah, me too, Taters. Me too. People love my ass. They're like, damn, who's that? Oh, that's Kuvar. Oh, shit, for real? That makes it so much better. Wow. Check out that ass, baby. So big and so strong. My ass is so big and so strong. Thank you, sweet. And so big and so strong. Open your eyes. Oh yeah, the song, right? I did a song. I forgot. Thank you for the dances, the cheers, the raves, everything. Thank you so much, and the tongues as well, of course. Thank you. Oh, hello, Leo. Hey, how's it going? How'd your stream end up going? I had to dip out to do the groceries and dinner stuff, but I hope it went well for you, Leo. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Sorry, I had to get underneath my desk to pick up some cards that I definitely did not just drop. But hello, Leo. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the cheers. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Lovely to see you, as always. Clap, clap, clap. I love it. Thank you, sweet. You're very sweet. Nice. You hate burping that much? Burping is a mistake. There's a reason that the emote is called the mistake. It is, the thing about burping is it is extremely vile. It is disgusting. It is disgusting and it shouldn't be done. It is also still really very funny. So it's kind of like, it's a weird balancing point. It's absolutely disgusting, but very funny. His thank you is pretty sus. What do you mean? What do you mean, Taters? That was the most genuine thank you I've ever said. I'm sorry I'm late. No worries, no worries. Violet's Popcat emote is terrible for this in a lot of ways because it's not actually like actively popping. It's just holding the mouth open like, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, good food, bring it in, So much better with Chibi Mommy. I suppose you can see more then. You have more. No, it's you already. No, it couldn't be me. I have no ideas. Not once, not never. Sky, I blame you for this. Thank you, Taters. Thank you. Thank you. No, I swear, not me. I'd love to see what Mr. Q face looks like when he does this. It looks a lot like my Chibi. Although, I do put my hands to my hips so I can flap my arms like bird wings while I'm doing it, and then I kind of like lean my head back so I get like the weird like, and kind of like forward, back and forth kind of thing. So I guess I do look a little goofy, probably. Love that Sky gets the blame when in fact she is not. What do you mean? So Say-So, always struggling with using bad names. I'm extremely Say-So. Everybody knows I'm Say-So. You were there for Toki's stream the other day. I'm so Say-So. 100% pure and wholesome. Just like Toki. So big and so strong. And cards. No one is ever late. You're always in the right time here. Yes, there is no lateness. Not once, not never. Although you're late. Can't believe you were late. Like a real bird mommy's so cute. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gore. Hold on. Let me correct this. And there. Boop. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop, boop. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop, boop. Ring, 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 ring. Ba-boop-a phone. Boop, boop-a-doop-a-doop. Ring, 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 ring. Ba-boop-a phone. Boop, boop-a-doop, boop, boop. Boop-a-doop, boop, 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 boop. 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 That's a microphone. Boop. Boop hand. Boop hand, what are you doing? Boop hand. You're just here to boop. What? Why are you... Quit stroking my microphone. Stop it. Stop it! No! Just quit it! Stop! I'm gonna put it away! I'll put it away! No more singing! Toki time gonna be short if you do this! This is your fault! Stop. I'm not a hashtag karaoke streamer. Fine. Just, Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Shame on you. This is your fault. Boop. Ah, my eye. Fuck. Boop. God damn it. Boop. Fuck. Go back to your home. Go back to your hole where you came from. Go back to where you belong. Shame. Thank you, Gore, for the hashtag 420 boop it. I appreciate it. I was there, yes, and I took the test, and I'm not surprised. Yep. My results are still hidden from view. Just know that I am extremely pure and innocent. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know the numbers. You don't need to know anything else. I am pure, innocent, and wholesome. Very, very sweet. Yes. Hand, what do you... Unsay so hand. Sheesh. I'm not happy. Why aren't you happy? Well, hop on. So say so. Yes. I don't need to know. Yeah, you don't need to know. I would never do anything that is even moderately unsay so. Wouldn't dare. Couldn't be me. No way, no how. Don't want to know. No way to know. No way to know. Okay, I'm going to do a little thing here. Just a funny little gamer thing. Because like I said, I have some ideas about what to do for the microphone. Oh yeah, you're right. It is just about that time, isn't it? Oops, not that one. No, it's just, it's bedtime. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dreamed of, dreams really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dream that you dare to, why can't I? Oh, 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 oh. But yes, that is the end of it. Toki time is far long gone. It was just a very short Toki time because Toki was here for a short time and is hopefully sleeping very well now. But now that was bedtime. And I just remembered something because I'm bad at remembering things sometimes. But here, check out Leo as well. We put my little shout ahead and say check out Leo. Stream Elements? Stream Elements, what you doing? Stream Elements? Rude. Where you at, Stream Elements? Why are you not here? Why? Stream Elements. I can fix this. Fuck it. I can do this. Here we go. Bam! Check out Leo. Leo is a wonderful being, very comfy and cozy and loving. An absolute sweetheart. They're playing Stardew Valley with Insomnia Oxide, who I could also shout out as well. As long as I can remember it, I believe there's a... Is there an underscore? I think there's an underscore. Yeah. Let's see if Stream Elements wants to work this time. Stream Elements? Oh, thank you, Stream Elements. Yes, check out Insomnia as well. Insomnia is wonderful. We love Insomnia and Leo. They're fantastic. And while we're at it, funny gamer move here. This is something that is not expected, I'm sure, but it's coming in hot and fast. Go check out Eevee's new account, their new Twitch account that they will be using in the future when they do their own streams as Eve the VTuber. Check them out on their Twitter as well is wonderful. You will love them. They are funny, they are sweet, they are cute, they have a great sense of humor, and they're very well spoken. They're fun people. Check them out. They will be streaming hopefully within the next month from what I saw. They're hoping to debut then. They're going to be moving out and trying to do some big pro gamer streams. Yes. Thank you, Gore, by the way, for the boop clip. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate all clips all the time, so thank you so much. I'm not a karaoke bear. I'm not a hashtag karaoke streamer, nor am I a bear. Couldn't be me. But Sweet did redeem a perfect, so let's see how this goes. Hopefully one of those perfects was near perfect enough for you. Thank you, Sweet. Good boy. Hell yeah, Evie. Yes. Check out Eve. Don't follow me. Oh, thank you, Sky. I appreciate it. Eve's going to hit affiliate so fast, I believe. I believe in them. You are perfect. Oh, thank you. I know. But Sweets, I'm no bear. I just dress like one. I swear. Yeah, like that. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done one of those. Those are not nearly as popular these days as they used to be. Perfection. Barbecue. Perfect. I love it. Thank you. I'm glad. Glad to hear that. So one thing I was planning on doing today was I was at the tail end, or at the end of the Pathfinder one-shot I did today. Wow. Wow! Thank you, Sweet, for the wow! Wow! We save for burbs. Do what you have to do, I suppose. It does seem like people are saving more in general these days. Evie did hit that treat yourself redeem last time. Has not given me the instructions yet, which means that until Evie pops in to give me the instructions on how to self-care, I will continue on my path of self-destruction and refusing to self-care and taking all my time and smashing as much as I can into it, not sleeping enough, not resting. That's the way it has to be. It's the way it needs to be done. I was going to read something today, actually, because somebody sent me this copy pasta thing about a D&D or a tabletop RPG player. They're actually playing Call of Cthulhu or Trail of Cthulhu. And there's a very interesting backstory to that, and a story of it that was posted somewhere that I might read first before we play some video games. No, self-care. Everybody should self-care. All y'all motherfuckers self-care. Do it. Do it. Do it. But we'll read this first, and then we'll play some video games. In the meantime, though, I'll set up a poll, I think, to see what you guys want to see, because I have a couple options, like I mentioned. So, video gaming? Do I want to give another option? Nah, those are good. And we'll give it like 10 minutes to poll for the poll. And yeah, sure. Let's do that. There, feel free to vote on what you'd like to see today. Pro streamer setting up a poll. Yeah, big pro streamer. Maybe I'll go to sleep then. Yes, absolutely sleep. Get some good rest. Get some good rest. Read for me, mommy. Well, I don't think the story I'm going to be reading is too, like, calming, if that's what you're thinking. Whoa, video games? Whoa, video games? Let's move this over here, because I'll need this here. Move this back over this way. Hit this. Change my title, because now we are reading Old Man Henderson. So you have 10 minutes to vote in the poll on what you would like to see this evening. In the meantime, we will be reading, bam, Old Man Henderson. It's an old tabletop RPG backstory story sort of thing, story of a backstory of a crazy man. It's gonna be interesting. I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's exciting, and I'm very interested to see what happens. I know nothing. I know practically nothing. The Legend of Old Man Henderson is a crazy-ass tale about a player who accidentally figured out how to win at Call of Cthulhu, only it was really Trail of Cthulhu. Proof that great times can be had, even if bad GMs want to run stupidly brutal grimdark horror campaigns. Old Man Henderson is the equivalent of what John Brown is to Americans, Ned Kelly to Australians, and Robin Hood to the English. He's the tabletop symbol of the little man standing up to the corruption of tyrants and overlords, and or the reincarnation of the Demo Man. Your pick? I don't know what that is. Here's an audio in case you can't read. Well, I'm going to read it to you right now, so we don't need the audio. But yeah, this is apparently good old Man Henderson right here. Muckle damn cult, error namblies be keeping me wee men. Muckle damn cult, error your namblies be keeping me wee men. No idea what that means. We'll find out maybe. The origin of Old Man Henderson. A post from Waffle House Millionaire. From back in 2010. I hate derailing a thread on accident. Who wants to hear the tale of Old Man Henderson, the character who one Call of Cthulhu. Anonymous. I do. Alright then. I'd like to start by saying that the GM was a bastard that had it coming. Bullshit tactics to make everyone go crazy like a D6 with only 5 sides, no story, no reason, lose 10 sanity. The others continued to allow this fuckery. We were playing a modern day setting, with the other players being a college professor who found a couple of stray pages of a copy of the Necronomicon and wanted to find out what the hell it was, a detective who was investigating a missing persons case connected to the local cult, and a local athlete, I think it was football, trying to find out why some of his friends seemed so distant lately. And then there was Old Man Henderson, who was never given a first name. Old Man Henderson was already a little crazy and blamed his life's misfortunes on Vietnam. He never went to Vietnam. He was 12 in '74, and I will be fucking amazed if anyone gets that reference. Not everyone does. It is the song My Brother-in-Law by Tim Wilson, as far as I can tell. I do not know that song. Old Man Henderson wore combat boots, cargo shorts, and an open-front Hawaiian shirt with a wife beater underneath. He was dyslexic and had a lesser case of schizophrenia, probably referring to schizotypal. Schizotypal. Allowing him to assume that the reason he saw crazy shit was because he was a little bit crazy. He had a Grizzly Adams beard and wore his hair in a mohawk. He never took off his aviator shades for any reason. He had a stuffed parrot on his shoulder named Rupert that he constantly asked for advice, while ignoring the other party members as convenient, assuming they were hallucinations. He had an automatic combat shotgun he knew how to use. He also had memorized the Anarchist's cookbook. He started the game with a pre-existing hatred of religion, cutlery, and books. His motivation was that he thought that the cult had stolen his lawn gnomes. Well, he had actually donated them to a charity auction, got high, and forgot about it. Most importantly, he had a 320-page backstory that justified everything, from his casual knowledge of physics to his ability to speak Portuguese flawlessly. You can just imagine the sort of shenanigans that character was involved in. So 320-page backstory for a character in anything is insane, because that is a fucking novel right there. Like, I wrote a 30-page backstory once for a character that was a short story that was way too much. I wrote 11 pages for this one shot that I played with Toki and Tofu in them, and that was a lot. That was too much. 320 pages is a whole different beast entirely. Even I couldn't do that. Probably. I've been told I should write a book. I probably won't, but maybe someday. You know, anarchist cookbook. God damn, that shit is illegal. I mean, I know nothing about that. Yeah, me neither. Definitely didn't have a PDF of it back in the day. Couldn't be me. Who would do this? I don't know. Some madman who wants to get back at their DM, I suppose. Some absolute madman who is also a genius. Yeah, couldn't be me. No. No way, no how. The point to having such a long backstory was threefold. 1. To ensure the GM would never actually read it. And 2. Since he would never read it except for in excerpts, I pointed out to justify things, I could rewrite and change things around completely at random without anyone noticing, and, most importantly, convince everyone that I was serious about this character, and that it wasn't simply the game-wrecking bullshit that it was. Dickish, yes, but he really did have it coming. Imagine writing, imagine. I never write. I refuse to write. I don't even know how to write. What are letters? What are words? Couldn't be me. First outing of the group. The detective was spying on the building of the cultists with a camera. The jock was parked nearby, waiting for the group to let out so he could snoop it out. The professor had joined the cult to try and gain information. Old Man Henderson very calmly parked his car, got out holding the shotgun in clear view of anyone who happened to be looking, in this case, the detective and the jock, strolled up to the front door and kicked it in. While everyone just kind of stopped in shocked silence for a moment, he leveled his shotgun on the lead priest/cultist guy and yelled, "Muckle darn cult! Aaron Ambley's be keeping me wee men!" Sounds actually logical to me. It is. It is logical. He has a plan here. It makes sense. Did I mention that he had a nigh incomprehensible Scottish accent that came and went as he drank and or has amused me? I can't do a Scottish accent. I can't. So I'm going to be doing like a hillbilly Southern accent, if that. But I can't do Scottish. I'm sorry. The leader couldn't understand my simple request to return my lawn gnomes. Literally, you think what I typed is hard to understand? Imagine it being slurred at you by a drunken Scotsman. He assumed I was trying to cast a spell at him in an elder tongue, and summoned a Shoggoth by murdering one of his fellows. One Molotov, and about 20 rounds later, the Shoggoth is dead, as is the cult leader. The professor, he made the mistake of trying to make peacemaker mid-murderous rampage, and about 10 assorted cultists. Old Man Henderson then pissed on the Shoggoth's corpse, got back in his battered 92 Buick Century, and went home. The whole event was over in about 10 minutes game time, and nobody thought to get the Buick's plates. The building burned down shortly, along with about half the written plot and every lead either of the other surviving players had. The GM called a break then to figure out how to fix and or work around what I just did. It only got crazier from there. I don't even read. Why should you read? We have mommy. Do aggressive English man. This is Scottish. I kind of like him. I like. Are you telling me to do an aggressive English man? Or because I can't do Scottish. I can't. I kind of like him. He's a nice dude. I like it. Yeah. Anonymous. I must have more, good sir. Waffle House Millionaire. Typing up the full exploits of Old Man Henderson would take too long. Can I just give you the highlights reel? Anonymous. I'll settle for that. Waffle House Millionaire. Alrighty then. Some of his finer moments include dropping a yacht onto a penthouse suite owned by Cthulhu cultists, the stealing of said yacht from cultists of Hastur, thereby starting a cultist gang war, the tanker truck incident, and my personal favorite, Hell on Ice. Which one do you want to hear about first? Dashing Bastard. Dropping the yacht. Let's take it from the top. The tanker truck incident. Interesting that it jumps to that, even though it says to drop the yacht. Huh. I guess it's giving us it in order that makes more sense to us, perhaps. So, the tanker truck incident. Now, time for what will forever be known as the tanker truck incident. Notice "the" is capitalized. This is because no matter what incidents in the future may involve tanker trucks, this is the definitive one. It started out innocently enough. Old Man Henderson left the stakeout in a van outside the evil cult's meeting place to go get some hooch. The only people left there were the detective and James Fink, the professor's second character. Jimmy was gone because it was a school night. Old Man Henderson was a bad influence, but damned if he didn't have the kid's best interests at heart. Someone wants me to suffer. I'm not happy with that. Ah! What is the suffering? What kind of suffering are you being caused? Incident. It's an incident. The cultists see me leaving. I had a very distinct appearance, after all, very useful in scoring TPKs, and discover my friends spying on them. The detective gets a pretty gar death, and James dies like a bitch, but not yet. What is gar? I feel like that's gory or gruesome or something. Urban Dictionary. No, that's not gar. What's gar? Urban Dictionary. Is it I don't know. I can't find a good answer about that. Oh well. Damn, spent all my points. Oh, since we poll, that's what you get. Oh, the poll's done? What do we got? Where is it? I need to check poll results. Spooky Scary Horror Eyes wins with 24 votes. Puppy contributed 2,300 channel points. Dang, Puppy. Puppy, you did like all of that. That was all you, basically. You just really wanted to see spooky, scary horror. I mean, that's okay. That is okay. It's fine because if I'm being completely honest, I was going to play a horror game anyways. That was a fake poll because I don't care what you guys say. You don't control me. I forge my own destiny. I have it downloaded and everything. I bought a game today to play. But yes, we'll play a spooky scary horror game maybe. We'll see. You better hold my hands all night now, bitch. I can't. You're supposed to be in bed anyways. You're supposed to be sleeping. I will hold your hand. Well, thank you, Puppy, for helping Sweet.
Dicks!
Fuck. Thank you for the dicks. Thank you, Sweet, for the dicks. Motherfucker, my points. Hey, you made that choice. You made that decision. That was all you. Hey, it's still one. It's still one. You can pretend like it. You can pretend like it was because of you, if that makes you feel better. I'm on my way back, walking along. The detective and James had been brought inside as part of a ritual to give Hastur an avatar in our world. He had been banished, and the only way he could come back here is via a loophole. He could only use as hosts people who knew he existed and had thwarted him thrice, and then he had to make them drink the lifeblood as their closest friend, to make the binding permanent. In case you're wondering, permanent binding equals game over. The first part of the ritual was completed, but before Hastur could take control, the detective broke James's shackle, and he tried to run. He made it as far as the street, when the detective, now Hastur, caught up with him, part demon form. Now where this church, for lack of a better term, was located, was at the end of the road on a T-shaped intersection. There was a gas station about 3 blocks away, which is where Old Man Henderson was while this was going down. Old Man Henderson sees the shit hit the fan, and steals a half-full tanker truck that was refilling the station's holding tank. While I bring the truck up to ramming speed, I toss a 12-pound block of C4 in the passenger seat and rig the detonator to the airbags. Old Man Henderson then took a bracing shot of whiskey, jammed a knife through the gas pedal, then jumped out of the truck onto his heelys. Yes, he modified his combat boots to have heelys. I swear to God, I had not planned this to happen. The heelys just sounded like something fucking ridiculous and in character. He watched the truck ram the detective into the church, then blow him and all the cultists to Kingdom Come. The truck also killed James by running him over. That's when the back trail ignited, fire going all the way back to the gas station and destroying it, continuing my streak of accidentally destroying anything that might lead people back to Old Man Henderson. I took a moment to call Jimmy. Henderson here. Figured out what the nasties are weak against. What's that, Mr. Henderson? Point blank annihilation. Click. That is the tanker truck incident. Fuck you, I can't sleep if you play horror. Then fall asleep before I play horror. Go to bed, go to sleep. I'm fine. I just inhaled some water to clean out my lungs. It's fine. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. I will eat your feet, you goddamn feet eaters. That's why I was smart and didn't invest in any points. Good choice, guy. Good choice. I was asking Puppy to hold my hands. I know you wouldn't. Busy man, always so busy. My hands are busy right now. I'm shuffling cards or something. I don't know. Get the feet. Get him. This guy's so big brain. Ow, 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 ow. Bark, 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 bark. Still 26K. Dang, sweet. You saving up. You saving up. I don't know what you're saving up for, but you saving up. Grr, 1-1. Okay, now I love him. He is wonderful. We love Old Man Henderson. I only have 166 left. Oh, Puppy. It's okay. You're doing your best. You do spend a lot of points. You do. I always wanted Heelys. Oh no, Puppy. You sure you're fine? I'm fine, yeah. I'll be A-okay. Do not worry. Tuck Sweet to bed. If you don't know what your hands are doing, what do you mean? I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm shuffling. Shuffling cards. Shuffling cards. Comfy in bed. Nice. Now we get to hear about dropping the yacht. Old Man Henderson, with his erstwhile companion Jimmy, the jock, and his friends William Brocklaw, a once humble bartender, the now dead detectives player. Old Man Henderson burned down his bar on accident and blamed it on the cultists. One bluff check later and he is in the posse. and Simon Breckenridge, British spy, the Professor's player, now 6 characters in, and yes, they were more or less all killed by Old Man Henderson. Old Man Henderson had discovered that there was not one cult to the Elder Gods, but several. This complicated his search for his gnomes/crusade. He decided to enlist help in making the problem solve itself. Using his contacts, Simon discovered that an influential cultist of Hastur was coming to town to try and figure out how an avatar of his god was killed. He also located the exact dock on which he would be landing his boat. Jimmy, meanwhile, discovered the home of the head of the local Cthulhu cults was at a penthouse suite downtown. A plan was hatched. Old Man Henderson used all of his cunning to steal a military cargo helicopter. Read, "Sure you can," the pilot, and flew off, and hid it in an abandoned warehouse. Jimmy and Will set up a very expensive surround sound speaker system at the docks, while Simon made and planted a lot of smoke bombs. That night, the yacht pulled in, and we made our move. Right as Simon maneuvered the helicopter over the docks, we set off the smoke bombs and activated the speakers. On one side, a 50-piece marching band playing God Save the Queen at max volume, and on the other, the audio from the beach scene from Saving Private Ryan. Imagine, for a moment, what being on the dock would have been like. Utter fucking chaos. I jumped down from the helicopter onto the boat and rigged it to lift out of there, during the course of which I ran into the cultist guy and ninja kicked him in the head, knocking him tail over tea kettle and off the boat. I later learned that he broke his neck in the fall. Damned convenient, otherwise he might have been able to ID me. We then lifted the boat out of there, switched to our secondary audio on all sides. My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. I was in a vengeful mood, gnome-stealing bastards. So when the cultists finally got the smoke to clear, their yacht was gone, their leader dead, and Celine Dion was stuck in their heads. Not the best of days. Then we went across town in a stolen military cargo chopper, carrying a 40-foot yacht, and parked the helicopter above the penthouse with the yacht about 80 feet above it. Then we cut the line, jumped out with our parachutes, and watched the yacht ruin a dinner party while placing bets on whether the military would save the chopper, blow it up, or if it would just hover there until it ran out of fuel. I'm not saving, I just don't spend my points. I see, I suppose. That means whenever you do choose to spend them, you have enough to do basically anything. Toki to pray. Bartender, like Tony. Tony the bartender. Tony the tarbender. Tony! Kind of want to read Old Man's lore book now. I would be interested to read it if it were available, but unfortunately it is not available. It's some wild shit. Boom, boom, motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. We can spend the night together from now until forever. Hell on Ice. I was very curious about Hell on Ice. Okie dokie, we were in the endgame. With zombies and shoggoths chasing us, I managed to get Jimmy disappeared, so it was Old Man Henderson, Simon, and Will going to the final strong point we had, an abandoned hockey stadium. On the way there, we had rammed through a small home and garden store in our truck, and when we arrived, we started barring the doors and windows, when I noticed something. Our trip through the store had netted us a passenger, a single lawn gnome. Somehow, I knew right then that this was it. No lucky turn of fate, no deus ex machina. Old Man Henderson was going to die. But I'd be damned if it wouldn't be the best fucking last stand ever. I then revealed to the GM that Henderson was a world champion figure skater, hockey player, and golfer. The backstory of Doom got one final use. We had got almost all of the doors barricaded, but the zombie/Shoggoth army kicked in the last door and got Simon. Will was pulled off the Zamboni after he managed to throw the crate onto the ice. The crate full of exploding hockey pucks. Lasted a couple of minutes while blasting Bust a Move, Young MC, before the situation resolved into totally fucked. I switched to the next track as I yelled, "Hastur, Hastur, Hastur!" The next track came on. It was the Canadian national anthem, which Old Man Henderson began to sing proudly at the top of his lungs. "Oh, Canada, our home and native land." I then threw out the 3 pieces of knowledge that marked Old Man Henderson's blaze of glory. Number 1, Calling Hestor's name 3 times will summon him, but only if the one who is his truest foe at the time calls it. Guess who? 2. When an elder god is summoned from beyond, they suffer a sort of summoning sickness. They're still unbelievably strong, but can be killed forever if you hit them hard enough. And number 3. The building had enough explosives wired to make Michael Bay blush. And that, my friends, is the tale of how Old Man Henderson won Call of Cthulhu. Anonymous, I hereby suggest the use of Henderson magnitude scale of plot derailment, Quake, to be used from here on. 1 full Henderson rates as total derailment. That is not the end, though, apparently. Because there's the director's cut. Sad, I want to read it now. Don't make me feel that old. Boom, 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 boom. No, old man. Golfer? Okay, let him die. Ooh, 3 hits hard. Wait. Is that legit? Can they be killed upon initial summoning? It's plausible. I would believe it. If there was ever a time to be able to kill them, it is at that moment. And I think that's the way most games and media kind of play it. Is like, yeah, they're a little bit weaker as soon as they're summoned. So if you're going to kill them, you do it now or you're fucked. I cannot confirm if that's the case universally, but like, yeah, from here to there. I mean, why not? Yeah, seems legit. They call it hydration, not low hydration. Drink. Thank you, pup, for the hydration. Yes, take notes, Sky. Now we're on to the director's cut, part 1. But he wants to drown but doesn't have the points. Yeah, apparently. I actually learned something. You learned something. Whether or not it's true, you learned it. They call it gamer juice, not lamer juice. That's fucking right. Thanks for the gamer juice, sweet. Gamer. Take all the notes. Director's Cut Part 1. About a month later, or close to a month later. Actually, no, is this 2 years later? Shit, that's 2 years later. This is in 2012. Anonymous. Just want to say, Waffle House... What is it? Waffle House... What was their name? Waffle House Millionaire, that's it. Just want to say, Waffle House Millionaire actually posted a continuation to Old Man Henderson. Shit's whack. Search for Eli Burning, I believe, on whatever that place is. A self-called Nowhere responds. He never actually posted more than a quick summary of it, actually. Also, for those of you curious as to whether or not Old Man Henderson was real, yes. Yes, it was. I was there. I was the professor, and like 15 other fucking people. Because Henderson had no concept of collateral damage or inside voice. The whole incomplete story was fucking crazy, because crazy shit was happening in and out of game, and he only gave you guys a highlights reel. I might end up story timing the whole thing, even though I'm not as eloquent as him. Seriously, I read the backstory of Doom. What he told you about it does not do it justice. Gamer. Someone couldn't let go, no way. They call it hydration, not low hydration. Drink. Thank you, Androx, for the hydration. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for being here. We're just reading the story of Old Man Henderson, a tabletop RPG character who had a 320-page backstory and did some insane bullshit and broke the game. It's a fun time. After this, we're probably going to be playing a maybe spooky game. Waffle House Millionaire tends to get emotionally attached to a well-made character. To him, they're the means of exploring a story, and a good story is something he thinks the very foundations of modern society are based on. He doesn't mind a bad end, so long as it's legitimate. Thanks, me too. That describes me to a T. I've had 3 of my main D&D characters die. I think I've only had 6, maybe 7 main D&D characters aside from one-shots, and I've had 3 of them die because I'm not afraid to take risks and do things that are maybe a bad idea if it makes sense and could possibly help. I'll do anything. I'll do anything as long as it makes sense. And it's for the story. I want the backstory. I want all of it. Sorry, it couldn't happen. Could a Lovecraftian monster refuse to be summoned? I wonder. Because a lot of summoning things are beyond the control of the thing being summoned. It is they are being forcibly brought into our world. So I'm not sure. That's a curiosity. Sweet, maybe we'll cry more. Could happen. I hunger for shadows. Other than that, I'm good. Well, I hope that you're able to get some good shadows at some point, Androx. Hopefully you can find some delicious, wonderful shadows for you. Other than that, it's good to hear that you're good. Good is good, and that's better than bad, and that's okay. Love to hear it. Boss your role at a bad time? Shit happens. Yeah, me too. Bad choice in character? Meant to be. Simply screwed by circumstance. Them's the shakes. Lol, you're dead because you actually disagreed with my self-insert fetish fuel character with 2 katanas? I actually had to stop him from choking the fat bastard. Which might make him sound like a bad person ruled by petty emotion, but the truth is, he's like a bear. Normally quite chill, not that easy to piss off normally. So he doesn't move often, but when he does, things like Henderson happen. This dude sounds like a more extreme version of me. Much more extreme version of me. I can never let a character die. Wait, yes I can, always. Some characters are born to be gone again. Hope you enjoy the shadows. It was the 5th session of the game with an experienced GM, using Trail of Cthulhu, a small distinction on the whole, but one worth mentioning in my eyes. And he'd already lost 3 characters to the stupidest shit. A bear? 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 What happened? What bear? Bear happened? What happened? Bear? Oh, he's like a bear. Oh. I didn't even realize. I didn't think that. I didn't think about that line being there before I said he sounds a lot like me. I meant in the way that he carries himself, and the idea that like if bad things happen, it's okay. It's the way things go. Like I don't get upset about bad things happening in those games. Like in tabletop RPGs, it's like I rolled bad. Well, it makes sense. That's what's happening here. It's okay. It's the way it needs to be. Bad things happen to my character. My character dies. Probably what was meant to be. It's the way it goes. Them's the breaks. Silly bear trigger words. Yeah. Except not for me. I didn't even notice. Because I'm not a bear. I just dress like one. So why would I pay attention to that? Seriously, the last one, some evil force put a curse on him, and he ended up being killed by a horse. Falling out of an airplane. Yeah. So the GM goes to grab the pizza, since it was his turn to pay. And I could feel the room cooling slightly. Waffle House Millionaire's expression never changed. He never looked at me or the other 2 guys. I know you're thinking about leaving, but I want you to stay. I want you to watch what I'm going to do. I knew this was bad, because while he can get frustrated mad, which is hilarious by the way, he makes a choking noise in the back of his throat like a murloc caught in a trash compactor. When he gets truly pissed, he gets calm. We continue for the evening, and about a week later we come back. He's giving me a ride, and he looks like he hasn't slept in 2 days, and the stubble is almost, but not quite, into gangly half-beard territory. I've done something. I'm not sure it's a good thing yet, he says as he hands me the little binder thing he keeps his character sheets and notes in. You've done something? I ask as I take the folder from him. Created? No. Created is the wrong term. I feel like it was already there, waiting for me to give it life. I put a thing on paper, and I'm bringing it down on that fat fuck like the wrath of God. Uh-huh, I say as I look at the sheet. Is Henderson his first or last name? I don't even fucking know. So then I look at the stack of paper he called a backstory. I start reading it, and I'm immediately fascinated by what can only be called a tome of madness. It switched perspectives and tone wildly. At one point, it's written with stage directions in the form of a script. At one point, it was to German. Okay, this dude is me, but more extreme. This dude is me turned up to fucking 11. Writing in rapidly changing perspectives and tone, using stage direction for no reason. I haven't really written in German before, but I have changed languages before. God damn. I've written in binary, I've written in chaos speak. I'm born. Pardon? Bear? How can such a beast exist? It's hard to believe it. It's hard to believe it, but it's true, I guess. There is somebody out there who's me but more powerful. This Waffle House millionaire must be another Kuvar. Perhaps they are the original. I promise I did not do it. I did not hit her. I did not. I know for fact he only knows like 2 words in German. Well, I'm kind of fluent. The German was in his hand, and it was grammatically flawless. I find my voice. What? Been asking that myself. All fucking day. So we get to the game, and the GM asks what we're all doing. Detective Guy is drinking alone at his desk, waiting for one of his contacts to get back to him. Jimmy, the jock type, is struggling with math homework. My character, Professor Filkins, is grading midterms. Then we get the introduction to Henderson. He's sitting in a lawn chair in his house, smoking a bong, staring at a wall he painted to look like a Hawaiian beach. You know, Rupert, he addresses the stuffed parrot currently resting on the arm of his chair, you're a good friend. Most people would have asked for a hit, but you know how much I love this shit. Way better than what we had back in Nam. He chuckles and then begins reminiscing. You know, I still remember the first time I got high. Back in my older brother's van. No, it must have been some good shit too, because I'm an only child. Ain't that right, Charles? He looks over to an empty corner of the room. Charlie? He then gets up, mildly concerned. Man, what the hell? He begins to search the house in earnest, before sitting down on a chair in his kitchen. Where the fuck are my lawn gnomes? I mean, did somebody steal them? Who the fuck would steal them? Yeah, they're worth a lot, but come on. He then pulls out a Sharpie and begins to scribble on the table. Alright, 215 gnomes, total weight about 800 pounds, total value approaching 40K. Not a one-man job. Need help to carry them, need help to sell them. I'm looking at a large and well-organized group of assholes. He looks into the middle distance. Like those guys down the street? They're Mormons, right? Large religious group, come around the early morning like those damn Charlies. Roops, I think we've got a lead. And then he poured a bottle of Jack Daniels in a large Go cup and went and got in his car. I wish. I did not. Oh my god, I love him. He's wonderful. Charlie! Before I get back to the rest of the party, it should be noted that Henderson looks a lot like Jeff Bridges of today. So imagine all of his lines in that voice, because that's the voice we were treated to at the table. Well, I can't do a Jeff Bridges voice either. Not off the top of my head. Anyway, I've had the lead on a cult meeting for a while, and I managed to get an invite. I'm sitting in the front row, listening to a passionate Arab man talking about how there's more to the world than we know. Despite myself, I'm intrigued. Jimmy is sitting outside, thinking about his friends and trying to decide if he should go in and talk to them or what. The detective's gotten his call back and is now watching the scene with interest. A battered 92 Buick Sentry fails to get their attention until it suddenly executes a perfect handbrake turn and parks at the curb. Back to the Henderson's point of view. He's blasting Creedence Clearwater Revival. Did I just say the Henderson's point of view? Back to Henderson's point of view. He's blasting Creedence Clearwater Revival when suddenly he sniffs the air and says, Mormons, before whipping around and parking out front and killing the car. He then gets out of the car and pops the trunk, in full view of the detective. He then shoves Lurid Lucy, an inflatable sex toy of exceptional quality, to one side and pulls out some sort of Israeli-made combat shotgun and starts walking towards the house. He then kicks open the door while our mouths are agape and shouts the words that let us know the game would never be the same. Muckle darn cultists! Air your nabblies keeping me wee men! So at this point, the GM has not yet realized what Henderson is. In fact, I think I'm the only one who truly understood what was about to happen to existential horror, as at this point in time, Mormons. As at this point in time, here's another fun fact about Waffle House Millionaire. When he's at a game table with a character sheet, you aren't at the table with him. You're at the table with whatever character he's playing until further notice. I don't think he could have metagamed if he tried. So anyway, the GM has decided to regain control the only way he knows how, by killing Mike's latest character via bullshit. So he summons a Shoggoth. Henderson, having passed the will check to not puke up his brains, and winning the initiative, comments on how it's the ugliest fucking poodle ever, oh god, and then shoots it in the fucking face until it dies. Then he shoots the cultist guy who summoned it. Then he shoots me. Then a random guy. Then he pisses on the Shoggoth's corpse since everyone else is too busy losing their shit in a panic over the creature that should not be being summoned, and casually sets the tapestry on fire with his cigar as he walks out the door. So then everyone still alive runs the fuck away from the burning building before the cops show up. Henderson makes it home, about 3 blocks away, when he realizes something horrible. He totally fucking forgot about the lawn gnomes. He runs back to the still burning building, only to see the fire department has already arrived. They inform him that no gnomes were in the building that they can tell. On the one hand, he's relieved as fuck since he didn't lose the gnomes, and killing that many little people would probably constitute a hate crime. Never mind that, he totally just leveled a church with the speed and brutality of the fucking Spetsnaz. Anyway, he goes to try and cook up where they could have gone at the local pub. The GM at this point looks up at us from his notes. He's clearly been thrown so far off the fucking tracks of what just happened that he can't just improv his way out of it. I think I need a minute. Or 10. He amscrays and I look over to the man I thought I knew. He has his cell phone out and is asking us if we're cool with Chinese food since we had pizza last week. What the fuck was that? Asks one of our fellow players. Remember when I said I was getting revenge? I brought out the big guns. I don't even have the small guns anymore. I was given some once and promptly returned them. Won't be needing these, I said. Hello? Chinese food place I forgot the name of. You still got that special on shrimp fried rice? Are you telling me I shrimp fried this rice? No gnomes. Lurk, enjoy your lurk, puppy. Enjoy. I don't know if you're playing video games still, if you're going to do something else, but enjoy. Thank you for being here. Having no gnomes is very relatable. I agree. I have no gnomes. Director's Cut, Part 2. So when I ended the last story, we had a dead Shoggoth, a burning building, a bunch of MIA lawn gnomes, and we totally just ordered some bitching Chinese food. Anyway, at this point in the proceedings, Henderson decided that if he couldn't get a proper brainstorming going at home as to the location of the gnomes, then he could always try Harry's bar. Good old Harry was scared proper shitless of Henderson after an incident with a commie bastard pinball machine prior to the game's start, so he could drink in peace and nobody really bothered him about the mounting tab. So he's sitting there, working on a new plan of action with his 2 best friends, Mr. Daniels and Mr. Walker, when suddenly a news report comes on. Apparently, some woman was commenting on how the quiet religious group a few blocks away from the bar just had their shit wrecked. Henderson was very interested in knowing that they were not, in fact, Mormons, but rather disciples of the Yellow King, which apparently were a radical sect of Buddhism that had the details promptly ignored since there was a hockey game on. Then Henderson had a really good idea, since somebody at the other table had the Dragnet theme as their ringtone. He knew fuck all about looking for people, but a private detective. So after a few minutes in the phone book, he decided to literally call the first name he saw under the PI heading. By sheer freakish coincidence, the phone in the detective player's office starts to ring. Hello? I need a man who's good at finding things, doesn't have any great love of religious loonies, and doesn't mind maybe shooting an ugly-ass poodle or 2. I'm sorry, but who is this? Name's Henderson. I need some help from a professional. No argument here. So you're looking to hire a PI? Yep. Had something precious stolen from me. And that was? Roughly $40,000 of lawn gnomes. There's a silence both in-game and at the table. What? I'm not saying it was cultists, but I'm pretty sure it was cultists. Or aliens, but that seems unlikely given the circumstances. If you're interested, we can talk down to Harry's on the south side by the river. And then he hung up. Since the detective was quickly getting nowhere with his missing persons case, he decided it'd be good for a laugh. Henderson, meanwhile, had discovered that Harry had acquired a Pac-Man arcade machine, and decided to fill the scoreboard with profanity. So when the detective arrives, he asks for some guy named Henderson, and was promptly pointed to a man in unusual attire who was teaching a girl how to shoot pool. Henderson? Hold on just a second. The important part of a shot in pool is to make sure it's smooth. Take all the time you need to line up the shot. Don't let them rush you, he says, and then he sinks his last 3 balls and the 8 in one stroke. He then turns to the detective. who promptly recognizes him and tries to leave. Too bad for him, Henderson decided to follow.
So how do you think you're gonna go about this?
I'm gonna get the hell back in my car and leave the crazy-ass arsonist's murderer behind.
No shit?
He looks over his shoulder back at the bar.
Which one?
He looks at the detective, poking him in the chest.
What?
The church. You burned down a church.
They started it.
Because you walked in with a shotgun. He asked, exasperated at the infuriatingly flawless logic of a complete asshole.
No, because they stole my goddamn lawn gnomes.
Yeah, you mentioned that. How do you fucking steal $40,000 in decorative lawn fixtures? Where the hell did you even get that many gnomes?
I worked briefly as a prostitute in Thailand. The antique gnome collection was my retirement plan.
What?
Ended up riding some dude's junk all the way back home. Hell of an uncomfortable ride, let me tell you. Not meant for the ocean blue, and I would know.
You understand the logistics of riding another man's junk across the ocean.
Well, in a general sense, I took a course on shipbuilding back in college. This was before we had those fancy navigational Gypsy Pathfinder space ferries.
Alright. You said you were looking for gnomes.
Actually, that was earlier. Just now I was explaining that I knew so much about catching a ride on somebody's junk because of vigorous study in my youth.
Let's focus on the gnomes. You think they were stolen by a cult?
Only thing that makes sense from what I know. I want you to look into this Disciples of the Yellow King, see if they're doing anything suspicious.
Actually, I was looking into them already for another reason. Looks like they've got a hand in human trafficking. Lawn gnomes. Seems like an odd direction to go in, but I won't deny that they're up to no good. I'll let you know if I find anything worth talking about.
Sounds good. I'm usually at Harry's unless I'm not. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go see a man about a horse.
Henderson then walked across the street, stole a bicycle, and rode off into a plot hole for a brief period of time. Good friends, or both actually cute, teaching how to play. Yeah, it is kind of nice. Wait, old man what? Aren't we all looking for gnomes? We're all looking for gnomes in the end. But he wasn't an old man prostitute. He was young when he was the prostitute. And there's nothing wrong with being an old man prostitute. Some people are into that, I'm sure. Bike time, let's go! Now, here's the question. Do you guys give a shit about non-Waffle House or Waffle House Millionaire related things? Because the rest of us were trying to play a somewhat serious game around him, and I wanted to know if you guys wanted the whole story or just shenanigans. Several votes for whole story later. I'm enjoying this so much. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It is a fun time. I'm very happy to hear about this. And as always, I enjoy reading for people if they enjoy reading, listening to me read to them, rather. All right, so at this point, the guy playing the detective decided to give my character an easy in with the group, since poor Jimmy was still on his lonesome for the moment. In rolls James Fink, one of several characters whom Henderson killed, and the only one besides Simon whose name ever got remembered by the rest of the group. James is a longtime friend of the detective, whose name I just remembered was Albert Johansson, pronounced Johansson, nailed it, for some fucking reason. Back when Al was still a cop, Jim was a thug for the local mob. They worked up the ladders of their respective organizations, gained the respect of their coworkers, and eventually ended up leaving their jobs on good terms with their bosses. I like hearing you read. Well, thank you, Sky. I'm glad to hear that. I love it. Thank you, sweet. Still want a Q audiobook? It could happen someday. These are kind of like audiobooks in a way when I'm reading things on here. And hello, Snakey. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a wonderful, lovely day. I hope your head doesn't hurt too much anymore. I hope you're feeling big and strong and somewhat rested. I hope that you're going to sleep very soon so you can get some wonderful rest. Sorry to throw on my shout-out hat for a moment. Thank you for being here. We're reading an insane backstory or story of a character from a tabletop RPG that did some insane things and wrote a 320-page backstory for his character. So we're reading the story of that story, not the backstory itself, because that doesn't exist. And then after that, we're probably going to play a little bit of a spooky game, but by then, you'll hopefully be in bed. But I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here, Snakey. In Jim's case, it was because his wife had a baby on the way and asked him to find safer work. Al ended up in a shootout where his partner got killed fighting against a bunch of crazy meth addicts. Shortly after quitting, they ran into each other by coincidence and discovered that the other one was the bastard who kept wrecking our job / getting away, and ended up becoming fast friends. This continued on a fairly regular basis for several years until the Henderson situation, and Al decided he wanted backup, and there was nobody in the world he trusted more. Kinda. Hello there, man. My head is indeed better now. I was out of the house literally all day, just got back home. I'm gonna take a little shower as I lurk, and I'll join the stream officially. Thank you for the loving welcome and shout out as well. Absolutely always. Very glad to hear that your head's feeling better. Love to hear you were out of the house and had a good day, hopefully. And good luck with your shower. Have a nice shower. Be strong. Be brave. You got this. Get clean. Get squeaky, squeaky clean. Enjoy. Hello, yes, welcome back, puppy. Welcome back.
So, Jim said as he walked into the office, who's the client?
Some crazy motherfucker named Henderson.
That his first or his last name?
Man, I have no fucking clue.
Alright, so what's he want?
Apparently he thinks a cult stole his antique lawn gnome collection.
So drop the nutter.
2 good reasons not to. The cult he's accusing, I honestly believe to be involved in both activity illegal and bizarre. The other is that any man who can afford to have 40 grand in gnomes lying around can write a paycheck.
Why the hell would somebody have 40?
Don't tug on this particular string, Jim, trust me. Just don't.
So what's our first lead?
Well, I was gonna go kick around the ashes of the church with my new boss burned down, and then see if there were any witnesses.
Wait, our boss caused that church fire?
Yeah. So you're in?
You kidding? I need to see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
That evening, they went to the site and discovered the Shoggoth's corpse. There wasn't enough left of it to force sand checks, but plenty to make them start asking some pointed questions. And we get so clean and so fresh, so simple and clean. Shh, still washing dishes. Yes, good luck with your dishes, puppy. Wash. Washa. You can do it. Don't forget the toes. Have a good lurk. Get those dishes puppy on lurk too. Be back as soon as I'm... Yes, absolutely. Take your time. Good luck. Thank you for stopping by. The professor ended up on the list of people to look into when this body was identified. And then they found the page of the Necronomicon. Recognizing the occult symbols on it, the detective dropped it off at his office while he went to ask if he could borrow a notebook out of the cold case evidence lockers. Henderson, meanwhile, discovered that, during a recent bender, he had agreed to chaperone a dance at the local high school. So he swings by the detective's office to let him know where he'll be. So he's at the office and he meets Jim, asks him to pass along the info to Al, and then snags the scrap of the Necronomicon on the way out the door, saying he needed paper. Jim failed his spot to notice which sheet he took. The GM fudged it, probably assuming Henderson was going to read it and he could kill him off via sand damage. Boy howdy, was he wrong. So Henderson shows up to the dance in his usual attire, slightly less scruffy than usual, and volunteers to sit outside and make sure punks from the other schools didn't try and gate crash the party. The more proper people were glad to keep him out, since that meant he wouldn't be able to corrupt the youth. Henderson was glad because there was no way they'd let him smoke the monster blunt he just rolled inside. I then realize, as he lit an Atomica, as he called it, a blunt roughly the size of a Cuban cigar, that there was currently only one piece of paper on his person. As soon as I found out where he was in character, I went to the school to try and prevent the inevitable. Meanwhile, Jimmy the jock was sitting outside, sad because his girlfriend didn't come because she was too busy being a crazy cultist. Henderson decides to introduce him to the wonderful world of substance abuse, and like a bro, passes the blunt. To be totally honest, I'm surprised this moment didn't make the original story, since smoking the giant book of bad juju is the best thing to ever happen on accident. So Jimmy took a hit, and totally failed every check the GM sent his way. He saw Jesus, and then Jesus turned to a giant squid thing. In the deep distance, the weeds softened the blow by masking everything behind a cartoony afterglow. So imagine for a moment watching Elder Fudd screaming Cthulhu Ftagen and shooting Daffy in the face, only instead of a fucked up beak and a muttering of "This means war," he screams, "He comes!" and tentacles rip out of his form to molest wildlife. This is the part where I go to the door and retrieve the precious shrimp fried rice. But I came back to, so wait, I only lost 15 sand? Yeah, what now? I pass it back. And here's a little cartoon they made, it looks like. Oh, somebody said, Cthulhu Ftagen, he comes! Nice. The Necronomicon blunt, can you imagine? Corrupting the youth, could be. Like someone we know, yeah, Sky. Yeah, Sky. Henderson, of course, manages to ace the tests, and then comments on how, "This is some really good shit, man," and how Jimmy is a lightweight. Jimmy then does a bit better, and they get to swapping stories. Pretty soon, the cult comes up, and they agree to join forces for the sake of cute girls next door, and lawn gnomes everywhere. Sadly, that roach burned fast and hard, so when me and Al got there, all we saw was the crazy old fuck and some ginger teenager crashed together against the wall, giggling at those silly squid things in people's heads. So we then discover the kid's connection to the madness and promptly discover what he knows. This leads to 3 people who didn't have school tomorrow, both in and out of game, to prepare a stakeout of some church. So at this point, we all get into Jim's van and park down the street from a church. The church happens to be on the end of a road, at a T-shaped intersection, and we're parked a bit up the way from it. Man, stakeouts are boring. I wish that he would identify who's speaking here, because it's kind of tough to tell. I'm going to ignore that message. I did not see it. No shit, Henderson. You have anything useful to contribute? Not really. I should have brought a book or something. Would you mind? Would you be paying attention to the building if you had been reading if you had reading material, rather? Not really. Then I guess that would defeat the purpose of a stakeout, wouldn't it? Not if you two were watching. Hell, we could have 2 of us watching the third man playing bait. You'd volunteer for that? Beats the fuck out of sitting in a van with 2 dudes who won't even let me smoke. Didn't you smoke evidence? Didn't you smoke evidence the last time you lit up? I regret nothing. Fuck it. You guys hungry or something? I'm gonna go grab some munchies from the gas station. Bring coffee. And some cheese doodles. Alright, back in. Fuck it. Just leave the doors unlocked. It was all cute. No one else. Yeah, I'm the one reading. It was just me. You're going to ignore it? I'm not ignoring anything. Why would I ignore something? That'd be extremely rude. Bad non-bear, but understandable. Tell him, sweet granny keeps us pure. We're all very, very pure. Very pure and innocent. Pure and clean and wholesome, and so say so. Because I say so. And he went in search of snacks. When he hopped out of the van, one of the cultists happened to see him on a lucky roll. And as he walked around the corner into the gas station, they ran out and beat the shit out of the 2 of us left behind. About the time we got dragged into the building, Henderson had finally got out of the bathroom. About the time we got tied to the altar, Henderson had stopped by to try on hats. About the time the ritual reached its height, Henderson was debating which AC/DC album was the best with the cashier. The end result of that argument was that while they couldn't decide if Back in Black or Dirty Deeds was the best album, Black Ice was pretty boss and heralded only good. So then, with some tense tests of willpower and resolve, Al managed to free Jim and hold off the cultists while an evil presence steadily took chunks off his sanity score until he was no longer able to resist. You're not pure. I'm so pure and so wholesome. Hi, Chibi Man. Adorable. Got any secrets with that model? Got any secrets? Chibi, yes, the model, of course, as you know, was made by Toki with the help of Misukato, and Sneckles brought it to life as well. But, there are a couple of things, guy. I got my little shout. Take that silly thing off. I can take that silly thing off. Thank you. Is this what you wanted? You want me to take that silly thing off? It's gone now. Just as requested. But hello, Carnalicus. I hope you're doing alright. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. Pleasure to see you. Hair. Hair. I have much hair. Mucho hair. Nice hair, thanks. I grew it myself. We're just reading a little story here. A story of some crazy tabletop RPG shenanigans. It's a good fun time. Da-da-da. Smiling in malicious glee, Hester began to stalk his new prey. At this point in time, Henderson had just walked out of the store, just in time to see my character get murder glomped by a monster wearing my friend's face. So he does the only logical thing he could. He stole a fucking fuel truck. So then we find out he was packing C4 and was making all sorts of tests while gunning it down the road towards us. He made it and bailed, just in time for the truck to hit him off of me and run my ass over. Hester rode that truck to its end, while Henderson placed a call to Jimmy.
Hey kid, Henderson here. Found out what the nasties are weak against.
What's that, Mr. Henderson?
Point blank annihilation.
He then hangs up the phone and proceeds to walk off. I finished bleeding to death 2 turns later. That's right, motherfucker left me to die. Sure, it wasn't like I was screaming for help, but he could have at least checked. Since I'm not sure how familiar this place is with certain Cthulhu-based rulebooks, I was basically in what D&D calls alive with negative hit points. So, helpless, dying, but still there's hope. Until the back trail ignited, and the tiny amount of fire damage ended me. My one consolation was that the fire blew up the gas station and took the bar he left me for with it. Then, the detectives player, after the fastest reroll I've ever seen, entered stage left. William Brockelaw runs in and yells about how his newly refurbished bar just got destroyed on the evening of its grand reopening.
Hey man, if it makes you feel any better, I can help you get back at the people who did this. Who are you? Name's Henderson. This is my right-hand man, Rupert. And you know who did this? I'm fairly certain I do. Ever hear of the Disciples of the Yellow King? Are you saying that was done by cultists? Look, I'm not saying it was cultists. But it was probably cultists. Come on, your bar might be gone, but it's not the only watering hole in town. Ever hear of a pub called Harry's? You look like you could use a drink.
At Harry's bar, he got filled in on what Henderson knew, while getting a couple of drinks on the house. I probably would have been there too, were I not slightly pissy about losing 2 characters in as many sessions. Take care, Roar. Yes. I will take care. Roar! Roar! Go! Roar! I will, yes. Yes, thank you for stopping by, Carno. I hope you're doing alright. It started to rain. How's the weather? Damn cultist, stop. I think the weather's okay here, as far as I can tell. But I haven't really looked outside. So it could be raining, but I'm not positive. Damn cultist. Roar, don't be so cute. Can't help myself. It's impossible to stop. So after a few minutes of back and forth, Will decides he'll get in on it if Henderson can provide some proof as to the whole evil cultist thing.
So why'd you decide to go after them? Revenge, mostly. Really? What happened? Same bastard who blew up your bar killed 2 of my buddies. This is after they stole all my fucking lawn gnomes. Damn. Tell you what, when we catch the guy, I'll hold him still while you kill him. Mighty generous of you.
This was the point where we called it for the evening, and at the start of the next session, Henderson headed up a daring plan to kidnap one of the heads of the cult. I'll tell that one next time, but quick spoiler, I managed to get 3 of my own characters killed in one session. Yeah. What even is good weather? It's hard to say. It's hard to say what good weather is it not? Bite him. Oh, thank you, Androx, the QuvarTV. It's been a minute since I got one of these as well, so hopefully this is okay. QuvarTV. Different tact. Kuvara. Kuvara. Hopefully one of those is alright for you. I'm a little out of practice. Ara. Rough. Yeah, it's a little rough losing 3 characters in one session. That's insane. Director's Cut, Part 3. A Self Called Nowhere. I got enough free time to do the story of Henderson's hat trick. While killing a god is cool and all, that happens a lot in tabletop games. Granted, it was a first for a Call of Cthulhu inspired game, but I digress. Henderson has another record that I find far more irritating, for obvious reasons. Henderson is the only player character I've ever seen who managed to kill the same player's character 4 times in a single session. Namely mine, the bastard. I'm going to type this up in chunks around what I'm already doing, so don't be surprised if this takes a while. Awa. Technically, I mistyped the end of the last thread. I re-rolled 3 times in one sitting, but I'd already had one character ready to go at the beginning. When we first arrived for the game that day, I was determined to not get upset at a character death. It's just a game, all pretend. I failed. Eventually. Wow, I love him. It's amazing. It's super powerful. I don't even remember the name of my first character. The session began with the cultists using a mob front, planning to kill the son of a rival crime family. Incidentally, the same one Jim used to work for. I was playing the role of the bodyguard, and I was quickly knocked out and thrown in the trunk of one car, while the kid was loaded into the back seat of another. Enter stage left. Henderson and Will. They see them wacky cultists up to no good, and they decide to nick the vehicle with the invisible hostage. While Will hotwired it, Henderson punched a hole in the gas tank of their second car and lit it off. They then sped away after unknowingly leaving my character to burn, screaming in the trunk of the second car. Approximate elapsed time between the start of the session and first character death, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I promptly rolled up a second character, and agreed with the GM that I should wait until a more appropriate time to join the scene than in the middle of a drive across town. They then decided to pull into a local bar with the Don's kid to help him get off his problem. My second character of the evening's name was Ronald. Ronald was a used car salesman coming off the tail end of a bad divorce in which his wife gained all their worldly possessions and then promptly killed herself and left it all to the new church she had found, the Disciples of the Yellow King. At this point in time, he was playing darts. Unbeknownst to him, a cultist from that church just let loose a powerful entropy curse after the car that was stolen from them. A curse with a very specific target. The brake lines of the car coming in for a hard stop just outside. Did it finish setting up the Easter decorations? Nice, love that for you, Sky. Congratulations, you did it! Where was I? There. Ronald looked at the perfect game he was playing and felt genuine joy for the first time in weeks. Then he was ripped in half by a BMW coming through the brick wall behind him. This was less than 10 minutes after the first death of the evening. Henderson gets out of the car, and the bartender with the mob connections immediately puts a gun in his face.
What the bloody hell do you think you're doing? Trying to escort a young man to safety. Damn cultists must have cut the brakes.
The bartender then recognizes the Don's son and calls him over to see if he's alright. Danny, the boy, is confused but mostly unhurt. This saved Henderson's life, but the GM soundly refused to let me just take control of such a politically powerful character just to get back into the game quicker. So I started to roll up another, a cop, looking into a lead in a weird house across town. A weird house connected to a cold case that his old friend Al asked him about immediately before his mysterious death in the middle of a huge explosion. A place the mob had just told Henderson and Will should have answers for some of the questions they had, as a favor for saving their son. Rest in peace, Ronald. Rip Ronald. Literally ripped in half, Rip Ronald. They get there after me, and open the door to creep inside. I've already investigated the upstairs and found notes saying something about a lab in the basement. Henderson, in the meantime, had gone straight down on the logic of what the hell kind of evil cultist just fucks around in the living room while they have creepy ass cellar to play with. He finds an old summoning circle down there and decides to spit in its general direction, accidentally activating it as he walks out the far door, finding nothing of interest in the room. Upon discovering that this other door leads outside, he circles back around into the house and winds up in the study with Will. Meanwhile, with my new lead pointing me at the basement, I run in, see the horrible thing taking shape, botch the fuck out of my save against crawl into the fetal position and cry while losing 2d10 sanity. Henderson, meanwhile, picks up a book off the shelf and flips it open to a random page.
What the hell kind of gobbledygook is this anyway? How are you supposed to pronounce this? Alwia, Cthulhu, Flagat, Fagatagan, Kiliafar, Alis, Arkasos, Faldeva.
He turns to Will, completely oblivious to the betentacled beast he just conjured into existence behind him, cocked eyebrow barely visible above the rim of his sunglasses.
What does that even mean? What's the point of wasting paper with this sort of nonsense?
Will, having barely failed his sanity check, loses 5 points from his score, and points behind him, muttering something about a thing that should not be. Henderson chuckles and says how he's not going to fall for that one again. Last time he did, the tyranny he was interrogating via his lawn gnomes had her pimp beat the shit out of him and steal his wallet. So he leads Tranny. It was Tranny, not tyranny. He leads Will to the kitchen, leaving the monster to its own devices. In the kitchen, Henderson continues to be disappointed with the continuing lack of clues, while the professor is overjoyed to discover that the liquor cabinet was never emptied by the previous owners, and helps himself to a bottle. Then the local cultists, getting a report of Henderson's location, proceed to kick in the door to come kill him. 3 of them are eaten by the thing Henderson summoned in the study, and while they're screaming, the 2 of them take a peek in the next room, and Henderson smashes all the alcohol and lights it off while they run out the back door. The abomination in the basement with me does nothing of importance while I regain my wits and attempt to leave. I burst out the way I came, see the fire, and immediately have a second breakdown caused by a pre-existing phobia of fire, randomly rolled for, and then die, burning, screaming in pain and terror, much like the cultists and the monsters. Meanwhile, Will is asking Henderson why his car only has the Creedence Clearwater Revival playing ever. It turns out that it's because the CD is jammed in there, and the radio is broke. Henderson just never bothered to fix it because Creedence is awesome. So they ride away happily listening to Around the Bend, while I fucking died for the 3rd time in the last hour. At this point, I was beginning to get a little pissy and break my promise to myself to not let the game get to me. I roll up another character, determined to do something of consequence in this session. I end up with a nasty, street-fighting thug named Patrick. Somebody in a yellow robe gave Pat a pile of money and a picture of Henderson, asking him to make sure he disappeared. Now, normally Pat would think twice about accepting such a shady deal, since he preferred to rough people up, since it couldn't get you 25 to life. However, it was a lot of money, and I was getting to be very bitter about the whole dying every fucking session thing. So Pat agreed to the job. I figured that this would end with me either killing Henderson or us getting into a scuffle and then Pat switching teams. Oh, how wrong I was. Turns out, Henderson wasn't a particularly tough fellow to find, since there's only one crazy old fucker with a mohawk and Hawaiian shirt running around reeking of cheap whiskey and porcelain. When Pat caught up with him, Henderson was taking a piss in an alleyway on the cardboard home of a hobo that just tried to mug him, now dead. As he finishes up, Pat taps him on the shoulder and he turns. "You Henderson?" "Indeed I am." And then Pat's right hook hits him in the face and smashes his aviator shades into a useless mess of metal and glass shards, at which point Henderson, very calmly, pulls it off of his face and pulls out a spare pair of shades, puts them on and comments, "Well, that was kind of rude." Then Pat caught him with a left. Henderson then tosses the second useless pair of sunglasses aside, dons a 3rd set, and then says, "Now, son, I've only got 1 more pair on me, and I've got considerably less patience than that. What the bloody all-loving fuck hell are you doing?"
I got good money from a man in yellow saying that you're a no good son of a bitch who needs to be put down.
At this, Henderson puts on a very surprised and concerned face.
A man in yellow, you say? Son, I'm afraid that there's been a very big mistake here. I've been lied to? Nah, you're pretty spot on,
Henderson replies before shooting out both my knees with his concealed handgun, followed by a pair to the balls.
But no man gets between me and my wee men.
He then walks out of the alleyway, leaving me to bleed to death, and everyone at the table kind of looks shocked at the fact that Henderson just blatantly executed a PC right there. I will admit to flipping my shit a bit. While the GM went to consult his notes, I confronted him. Why the fuck did you just kill me? What? You just fucking shot me dead. I shot a random guy who threatened my life and started trying to beat the shit out of me in the middle of a crime scene where I totally just murdered a hobo. Yes, I did. What possible reason could I have to not shoot you? It's me, you cock! I've already died like 3 times today. That's metagaming. I went to make the call for takeout, knowing that I would have hit him if I stayed. I don't disagree with him. Like, he did the right thing. Why would he not shoot that guy? Why would Henderson not shoot that guy? He did the right thing. Oh my god. Oopsie. A self-called nowhere. Before anybody says anything, I know getting violently angry over a game is stupid. That's why I walked away before it got the better of me. Nobody in the group, except maybe the GM, was that guy. But we all had a tendency or two that could have put us into that category. Excuse me, I burped. Disgusting. Waffle House Millionaire has a thing about the rules and about characters that I'm pretty sure are signs of his OCD coming to the fore. It's a really mild case, so you wouldn't even know he had it if you didn't notice little things. Like the fact that he never has the volume set for an odd number. If there are rules in place for a game, he expects them to be followed as written. If someone modifies the rules for some reason, that's fine, as long as he knows in advance there's a change. The dice land as the dice land, and he tends to be very chill on the whole as long as you don't manage to piss him off. Me, I like being a team player. I honestly hate playing a multiplayer game if it means going against my friends. I think this quirk may have eventually rubbed off on Waffle House Millionaire as far as Vidya are concerned, but I digress. So one of my sore spots is basically infighting. If 2 people start to have a fight, in character or out of character, it ruins the fun for me. I don't give a shit if the random kobolds we're beating up are having a bad day. I give no shits about some random guy in a server I keep sniping. But that guy I'm shooting isn't Dave, my friend, who let me move in after I had a bad breakup. That kobold isn't Mike's new player character. Personally, I think this is where the line between that guy and the rest of us is drawn. We're all geeks and nerds, given what gets us posted on tabletop gaming and 4chan at large on a daily basis. I think it's fair to say we're all assholes to some degree as well. We all have in us some quality or two that might be detestable. The difference between us and that guy is that we're trying to at least be acceptable, if not good. But now I've gotten off topic a bit. I opted to go for a quick drive to get the pizza since it was a bit cheaper, and we were taking a break anyway. Waffle House Millionaire decides to go with me, defeating the purpose of me trying to get away and clear my head. On the way was probably the time where we actually became friends. You see, up until this point, we'd just been kind of hanging out in the same group, playing games and shit, but on this day, I don't know what prompted it, but I got angry, and I kind of yelled at him. He took it in stride, came back with a reasoned argument, and let the matter drop. On the way back, we bickered over stupid shit, but I think out of all the crazy shit I've seen and done with him, near-death experiences, epic games, LAN parties, late nights having to go help a friend, that time we talked down a jumper, this was the one that stuck with me the most. Partly because I'd never seen anybody just let their guard down and be honest like that. I won't share what we talked about, except this. He actually bought Saint Anger. I've heard Saint Anger is bad. I've not listened to it. Waffle House Millionaire. For fuck's sake, are you ever going to let me live that down? A self-called nowhere. That CD was fucking garbage and you know it. Waffle House Millionaire. I didn't at the time. Fuck, Metallica is pretty consistently awesome. How the hell was I supposed to know that was the album they were going to fuck up? It was 2 fucking years before we even met, and I already apologized for it. Self-called nowhere. Make all the fucking excuses you want, man. The truth's out there now. Now all the internets know you done and goofed. Back to the story at hand. Jumper. Oh, are you referring to 2008's masterpiece of cinema, Jumper, starring Hayden Christensen in his seminal role as lead man David Rice? Jumper. Thank you, sweet. Where was I? Back to the story at hand. We get back to the table, and the GM has got some new stuff lined up. I decide to opt out of re-rolling and rejoining, even though we were only like halfway through the session, because I wasn't ready to have another character killed off just yet. Will and Henderson bounce around trying to find a lead to work with for the whole revenge plot they were kind of working on. They ended up meeting up with Jimmy to try and talk his girlfriend out of being a cultist, which ended up fantastic. Jimmy basically agrees to go to one of the meetings if she promised to seriously have a chat with him afterwards about the whole joining a cult thing. She agreed, basically telling him that he'd totally changed his mind once he saw what it was all about. Jimmy was a smart boy, and he called Henderson's cell phone for backup in case things went south. So pretty soon, Henderson and Will are sitting outside the church on the curb, waiting. Henderson breaks the silence.
Man, I fucking hate stakeouts. They aren't that bad. Last time I was on a stakeout, 2 of my friends got killed and your bar burnt down. Does this shit happen on a regular basis with you? Not causing it, well, not usually. I remember I got arrested about a year ago for scaring a cook shitless. What? Why? I told the motherfucker that I was allergic to olives. I get olives on me everything. I could have fucking died if I didn't check it out.
There's a silence. Then, I don't know who's saying which part. Fuck it, there's a Best Buy and a video rental place around the corner. I vote we get one of those portable DVD things in a movie. Fuck yes. Shit, we're just here in case Jimmy calls us. Let's get baked and watch something funny. Did I swear again? I can't believe it. Couldn't be me. Oh, and Androx, thank you for the Believe in the Heart of the Cards redeem. I do have a deck of cards in my hand right now. In my hands. How long would you like me to shuffle the cards for, Androx? I will begin to shuffle them. Bad bear. I'm not a bear, but I do swear. I'm not a bear, but I do swear. Oops. I am shuffling right now. I dropped a card. Don't worry, I can pick it up. 5 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay. I will continue shuffling while I am reading. How about that? All right, 5-minute timer starting now. There you go, Androx. Your 5 minutes of shuffling. So they went and got a copy of Grandma's Boy, got high, and laughed their asses off. In public, outside a church they're supposed to be watching for cultists that already knows what Henderson looks like. Surprisingly, nothing comes of this until Jimmy calls them from inside the church. Apparently they just called up some kind of demon and told it to eat his girlfriend and him as a sacrifice to their god. His girlfriend, shocked at the sudden change in tone from the companionable, welcoming air that was there before, suddenly realizes that cults aren't as awesome as she thought. And that's when Henderson and Will run inside, guns drawn. Jimmy, wise as a man he is, grabs his girlfriend and ducks, while full auto shotgun spray kills every motherfucker in the room. They go outside and into the car. Henderson starts it up while Will keeps the arson streak alive and sets the building on fire. As they pull away, Carrie, Jimmy's girlfriend, goes all, "My hero," on them, and soon the 2 freaked teenagers are getting busy in the back seat. Will looks shocked, while Henderson lights the bong up and starts hotboxing while cranking up the stereo, which is when they pass a cop going in the opposite direction. To this day, I giggle to myself thinking about what that cop must have been thinking when he saw that. There's Henderson, driving the car, taking a hit off a bong the size of God. Next to him is a dude who looks like a slightly less fat Kevin Smith, looking bored out the window. There's so much smoke inside that you'd think the car's on fire, and there's a couple of people obviously fucking in the back seat. I'd like to think that he was thinking about his family or going to watch a hockey game at the bar with his friends, or maybe finally asking the cute waitress out. Some part of me desperately wants to know why it took him 2 blocks to process what he just saw. Henderson just keeps going, not a care in the world. Cop turns around and starts to follow him. Henderson keeps going. Cop turns on his lights. Henderson keeps going.
Sir, pull over the vehicle,
The cop says into his loudspeaker. Henderson pulls into a drive-thru. The cop walks up halfway through an order for tacos and politely asks what the fuck he's doing. Henderson responds with a
Hold on a sec.
gesture and finishes his order. Then he asks if the cop wants anything. The cop asks him to please step out of the car, sir. Offers of a chalupa are denied. Shuffle, 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 master. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Did I swear again? Oh, shit. Shuffle, shuffle. Cults are fun. I don't know, cults can be fun in theory, but in practice, they're often not nearly as fun and much more dangerous to your being, your ability to be, your sense of self and understanding of yourself. Henderson gets out of the car, a plume of smoke accompanying his exit. Jimmy and Carrie are kind of blushing and avoiding eye contact, mostly having recuperated. Will, having seen 3 cosmic horrors in the last day, killed a bunch of people, and still coping with the loss of his bar, apparently has no fucks to give. He just sits there, high off his ass, listening to Fortunate Son. The cop interrogates him as to why he didn't pull over, and Henderson responds that was because he was colorblind, and that he didn't realize there was a cop behind him. The cop asks him why he smelled like weed, and Henderson replied that it was because he just smoked a huge fucking bowl, but it's cool because he has one of those medical licenses. When asked about the kids in the back seat, he stated confusion and asked, "What kids?" before looking back and seeing Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. When'd you get here?
You came to pick us up.
No shit.
He turned to the cop.
Tell you what, memory's the first thing to go. Follow right by the memory. So how can I help you, officer?
After replaying the conversation a few more times, the cop made Will drive, and they left relatively unmolested with their tacos. Gasp! What, did I swear again? Couldn't be, no way. Reading and shuffling, we're getting comfy. You would know as a cult leader. I'm not a cult leader. I've never been in a cult. I never ran a cult. You have a fun cult. There's no cult here. Couldn't be me. I would never dare. No way, no how. Director's Cut, Part 4. I think when I left off on the last story, our intrepid heroes had just gotten their hands on tacos and narrowly avoided getting arrested. Henderson is formally introduced to Carrie at this point, and I declined the offer to take over her character to get back in the game. I already had a character in mind, and the session was almost over at this point anyway. Henderson, being the responsible adult that he is, takes the kids to Harry's.
If you're old enough to kill cultists, you're old enough to drink,
he told them, and grabbed everyone a beer. We got most of the way into an elaborate The Big Lebowski reference when Mike finally asks a question. And that question is, it's time to stop shuffling. Some of you might say, fuck! Thank you, Nugget, for the dicks. Hello, Nugget. Thank you for stopping by. Here, let me put on my little shout I have for a second here. And Nugget. Yeah. Everybody check out Nugget. Nugget is wonderful, fantastic, very sweet and soft and loving. Absolute chaos. Will not accept being called cute, but they are. Hello, hello. Thank you for the dicks, Nugget. Androx, your card is the 6 of spades. That is the 6 of spades, Androx, the 6 of spades. Give me a second here. Let me find a writing utensil of some kind. Oops. There we go. Now, if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to need to freeze frame. And I'm back, I think. No, not quite. It's loading in. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I can speak with my mouth open. You don't even know. Ah. There we go. Much better. I heard cult. No cults here. We're talking about cults. We're reading a story of a tabletop RPG player character and the insane things they did while fighting cults. Yes. But there are no cults here. No way, no how. Okay, damn dicks. Lurk. Enjoy your lurk suite. Enjoy. Boop, boop, boop. Sounds about right. That would be my card. It could be, would be. Do you have my permission to DM you the picture of the card on Discord, Androx? Because I do that from time to time for people. If you are interested in seeing the picture of your card. It's a little extra flavor to it. We had dicks cult? No cult. No dicks. Just a handful of dicks here and there, but no dicks. No dicks and no cults. Not me. Couldn't be me. When Mike finally asks a question in a tone of voice that suggests irritation. Burb cult. There's no cult at all. And yes, we know that Sky runs a burb cult, but I'm not a part of that. I do not engage with that if I can help it. If I was a card, I would be a joker. Hey, because you're so funny. And a wild card. I don't know if this deck has any jokers in it. I probably I have a couple of decks that I can shuffle. This was the red bicycle deck. But I have a couple other decks. And yeah, the jokers are not in this one. Actually, I don't think this is a red bicycle deck. It's a different one. It's a very old deck, though. That's you. You run the burb cult. I don't run any cults. Besides, you're the one always saying, oh, burbing this, burbing that. Look at that burb. Look at that burb. Give me the burb. They need burb. They need to be burbed. Puppy needs to burb. I'll burb Puppy. I'll burb Puppy because Puppy can't do it on his own, even though we know Puppy's big and strong and can. He's got soft teeth, but they're getting stronger every day. What the hell are you guys talking about? What? I mean, you guys are clearly having a laugh at my expense. I don't mind that, but I'm not getting the joke, and it's pissing me off. Dude. Henderson is practically the dude from The Big Lebowski. That can't be accidental. It was. I've never seen the movie. What? I've never seen The Big Lebowski. What the fuck do you mean you've never seen it? Not sure how that can be misinterpreted. I think my uncle mentioned liking it in passing once. The GM agreed to call the evening right there so he could work on the next part of the game, while we dragged our fearless leader to watch what we thought was a fantastic movie. So at Harry's, they bump into my second to last character, Malcolm Reeves. Mal was a soldier who just got discharged from the military after a tour of duty sent him into a nest of monsters. Now I need to set out my e-cards. Oh, Sky, do it, but don't burn yourself out by doing that. It's a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort. You don't have to send one my way. You don't have to do anything for me. I'll still be here regardless. If I can reduce your efforts just a little bit, reduce the strain on you, the burden on you a little bit by doing that, just don't send one to me. It's okay. I know that the thought is there, and that's more than enough. He was diagnosed with schizophrenic hallucinations caused by PTSD and sent home. He overhears Henderson talking about cultists and deformed hell poodles and asks if he can get involved. We move out of the bar as evening begins to set in various degrees of drunk. We start with the building Henderson exploded. Nothing. We go back to the remains of the church Henderson burned down. Nada. Same story with the old mansion and the cult meeting we saved Carrie from.
Fucking cultists! Henderson yelled, dismayed. Not one clue anywhere.
Maybe if you didn't burn everything down, we'd have more to work with, Mal suggests.
We wage a score-third kind of war here, kid, Henderson says darkly. But that can wait until we get a lead. Anyone have any ideas?
Jimmy, buzzed well on its way to wearing off, raises a hand. The internet?
What the hell's an internet?
And then Henderson learned something new about the world. Too late, bitch. I made you an animated one. Sky, thank you, but you really don't have to go into all that effort. You really don't have to. I appreciate it, but as I've said time and time again, you need not do anything for me. You really don't need to. And in fact, you shouldn't. You should do nothing for me, and I'll still be here. I'll still be your friend. It's okay. Thank you, but you don't have to. Seeing as how Carrie and Jimmy's parents wouldn't want a trio of random dudes showing up to use their computers, they do the next most logical thing. Break into the library and use the public access lines. Sadly, Google had 0 useful results under Gorum Poodle fucking cultists. Disciples of the Yellow King, as Jimmy pointed out, and then corrected Henderson's spelling, had a list of locations and possible meeting times for various groups across the city. There were 10 unmolested locations, and several of them were having meetings this very night. Clearly, the GM was wanting us to get back to investigating. Henderson instead bought enough gasoline to make about 50 Molotovs, and we burned every one of those motherfuckers down that evening, before dropping off the kids at home for a good night's sleep. Mal buys the first round as we watch the news, seeing our exploits all over TV. We all got a good laugh when the cops apparently failed their assorted checks, tests, and investigations, since we players decided as a group that going to confront possible suspects meant have no fucking clue what's up and we're gonna go arrest Jeff Bridges, Kevin Smith, and Marcia Mathers. Triumphantly, we return home for the evening, and we all catch the news the next morning. Apparently, people are appalled by the hate crimes against this one religious group in the community, and they send their prayers with them. Sent, bitch. I'll get you one of these days, somehow. I'll get you to stop. For your own sake. The head of the local cultists thanked the community for their concern, and said that he had the permission of the local government to gather together and pray for the souls of their departed in a local high school gym. In retrospect, the GM telling us that every living cultist of Hastur would be gathering into one convenient location should have been a hint that it was a trap. Like one big enough to be visible from space. This is when Henderson had a cunning plan. He was going to go there and talk to the head cultist guy. I told him that's a fantastic plan, since Will already shared the summoning of the demon thing Henderson accidentally accomplished with him. So the new plan, of which Henderson was only vaguely aware, was that Jimmy was going to help the deacon set up a slideshow thing for all of the words of the prayer that he was going to lead. Henderson asked what significance lawn gnomes had in their worship. The deacon, after deducing that he wasn't in fact being mocked, explained that the church was rather neutral on the topic of lawn gnomes. Henderson then kept chasing the line as hard as he could, asking about things like human gnome relations, whether the gnomes had souls, whether said souled gnomes could theoretically be used as sacrifices to Satan. The deacon then, and I'm quoting the GM here, in the only good line he had the entire game, gave Henderson a look that can only be summed up as, "Dude, I fucked a Shoggoth and you're creeping me out." Jimmy then led Henderson away from the fracas, after he completed his secret mission of changing one of the slides about a third of the way into the show. That evening, the cultists prayed to Hastur. They asked for guidance and protection. They asked that their dead be avenged. They asked that they be allowed to continue serving. Or at least, that was the intent. One of the slides had been changed to say something more like, Alvra al Cthulhu fatagen kikilifal alakalakas faldebva. One horrible tentacled monstrosity per member saying the prayers out loud. The GM assumed that we would crash the show. We chose instead to barricade the doors and leave. After the horrors had ripped apart the cultists, they turned on each other. Soon the hall was left with only the dead and dying, while some stone-cold motherfuckers shot pool across town. However, we didn't account for one thing. Hastur wasn't the only game in town, and a high priest of Cthulhu felt 100 monsters being called into the world in his master's name. He investigates and finds the scene of the crime, and then looks into the earlier summoning performed by Henderson. Gravely insulted by the turn of affairs, he uses a sympathetic binding using what little remained of the corpse to stick a pair of hellhounds on Henderson, before returning to his meditations. When they catch up to him, Will's already gone home. The kids are sleeping, and Henderson's going for a walk with Malcolm. We're in the park, not far from his house, about to part ways when we hear a horrible snarling noise. Pistols drawn, we get a lucky shot off and kill one of them while the second leaps onto Henderson's face. He throws it off and dodges its second coming. Guess who gets a crit to the fucking throat? Fucking guess. Yes, I'm still bitter that no character other than Simon survived across multiple sessions. So as the monster kills me, Henderson manages a few solid kicks into it. The summoner, having detected a kill from his beasts, dismissed the survivor, assuming that he got the kill he desired. Henderson called the cops, and Mal was given a small but tasteful funeral at the military's expense. The official police reports read it off as mauling by some dogs that apparently escaped, heavily wounded. The surviving party members raised a glass in his name, while you and I are going to diverge from the sad scene. That night, on the way home, I had a terrible premonition. I now wonder, looking back, if this was the same fey mood that took Mike the evening he created Henderson. I lurked forums. I googled strategies. I shared small snippets of my sob story online while I accumulated knowledge. Henderson was born of madness, and a man's hatred towards blind antagonism. I, on the other hand, turned my eyes toward a magic more solid, practiced, dependable, evil. I delved into deliberate munchkinism for one express purpose: the creation of Simon Breckenridge, British spy. I knew setting out that I would never curb Henderson's madness. I could never hope to match it either. I therefore built Henderson's exact opposite: competent, sane, cunning. His karmic balance, the yin to his yang. His fucking soulmate in plot annihilation. The perfect support character. When utilized properly, a well-made/played support character is a fucking force multiplier for team effectiveness. Since Henderson was already wrecking the campaign harder than anything I could possibly design, I chose to call out Mike's efforts and make the Henderson situation exponentially worse. Since I've been absent for longer than intended from the whole director's cut thing I've been doing, I'm going to power through the rest of the story tonight. So excuse me while I go slip into something a bit more comfortable and grab a snack. Sane, boring. Sane can work. Sane can work. A good straight man in a story is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing mirror and a place to reflect the insanity off of. And without that, the insanity is like, it's still insanity, but it doesn't have the same kick as it could. We do not denounce sanity. Sanity is good to have for some people sometimes. It's good to have available. So I think he did a good job here. Being a support is an exceptionally powerful thing sometimes. Waffle House Millionaire. Simon was intentional? That explains so much. Self-called nowhere. Man, I can't make shit up off the cuff like you can. Simon was like a week's effort. I skipped a couple of classes to perfect my technique. Switching away from the antics of Henderson for a little while, we take the action to London. Most spies who try James Bond level bullshit get killed. They get lost or abandoned by their own country. Most spies are not Simon Breckenridge. Due to careful manipulation of events behind the scenes, he managed to close multiple gaps in security, sleep with most of the attractive ladies in town, and pass all the blame to other people. He had a distinguished career behind him and retired at age 45 with enough embezzled government funds to have him tried for treason. Less than a week later, without his spy network in place, his country house is destroyed and he goes back to work trying to figure out who killed his wife. His one lead skips town on a boat, so he goes to America with only one goal in mind: revenge. He knows that he'll have to use local conditions to his advantage, since he's going in blind and without a penny to his name. After all, the Crown could hardly be caught funding a covert operation stateside. I track the yacht and find out where it intends to make landfall. I send a wire back home and discover that it's an influential member of a group known as the Disciples of the Yellow King. Looking around, it's not exactly hard to figure out why he might be interested in this town. Someone apparently declared war on his fucking religion. I decide that finding the group responsible for this would be a wise move, since the enemy of my enemy would make an excellent disposable asset for the given value of friend. Deciding to get up bright and early the next day to search it out, I retire to a pub near my quaint hotel room intending to sample the local fare. As I walk into Harry's pub, I'm greeted by a pair of people in the midst of a heated argument.
I'm telling you, Will, this sort of degenerate activity is what's wrong with this country today. You're fucking crazy, Henderson. Each generation has its thing. You guys had Woodstock, this is just the new thing. Come on, we all know those punks on the TV are talentless hacks. The real masters of the craft are dead and gone. I guess that's true enough, assuming you give proper credit to the proper men. Well, there's no fucking way in any universe that Tupac was better than Biggie. Let's get a second opinion, Will responds before pointing at Simon. You there, new guy.
Yes.
Tupac or Biggie?
For what? President? I'd rather vote for someone with a sense of pizzazz. What's Liberace doing these days?
Henderson smiles. I think I like this guy. Sup, Limey? What brings you across the pond?
I'm a secret agent for the Crown. I came here to reenact a James Bond movie and get thrown out under an assumed name. Given your hilariously liberal gun laws, that should take most of my holiday.
Which Bond?
Connery, the only proper one. Simon notes, a hint of distaste in his voice.
Nice. Henderson looks at the TV. Hey, they're talking about us again.
Your church? Simon asks, taking mental notes.
Victims of jihad, Will responds, taking a sip of beer. Demon Sultan summoning cultist bastards.
Gotta go to bed, Kuvar. Have a great night. Thank you for being here, Androx. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your time here. And thank you for the card shuffling and they call it hydration, not low duration. Drink. Water. Goodbye, Androx. Sleep tight, dream bright, have a beautiful night, and thank you for being here.
Stole my gnomes, too. Why do you reckon they did that anyway?
Will asks, turning to his compatriot.
Nearest I can guess, some sort of ritual sacrifice, Henderson responds. By the way, that taxidermist ever finished stuffing that poodle? I figure I can use him to keep away the kids on Halloween.
Simon finishes his mental assessment. These morons will make for excellent cannon fodder. Gentlemen, a proposition. He then explains the yacht situation to the two of them, while Henderson takes a call from Jimmy. He then laughs. Can you boys handle getting some parachutes and some speakers for a rock concert? I just had the best plan ever. What sort of plan is this? Will asks, watching Henderson intently. The best one ever. Come on, when have I ever lied to you? Refusing to explain further, he goes and leaves in his Buick to unknown destinations. Will lets out a sigh. I know where we can grab some speakers. You think you can get some parachutes? I think I can manage. We meet back up here tomorrow. So while we went off to do some very mundane things, Henderson went to the local Air Force base. He told the man at the gate that he was a veteran needing to see a doctor, and then drove off to where the vehicles are kept. Since the GM had no idea how base security was supposed to work, he pretty much just walked up to a cargo chopper going through pre-flight checks and punched out the pilot. After hooking up the Buick, he flew across town to an abandoned warehouse and parked the chopper before going home. There really isn't anything more to that story. Apparently, these were the worst MPs in the history of our armed forces. We'll all come back to the bar, and Simon informs the group that the yacht will arrive in 2 days' time. Henderson and Jimmy rig up a little thing that would let them control the various light charges and speakers from a cheap laptop, while Simon reacquainted himself with the controls of a helicopter. The theft and dropping of the yacht clearly happened at this point, so I'm not going to bother reposting that part of the tale here. My version wouldn't be nearly as funny as the way Mike wrote it anyway. Waffle House Millionaire. I totally expected more resistance. I planned that shit out like a Shadowrun style attack, and then nothing happened. I just kind of walked in and jacked the chopper. Hilariously, I had no fly a chopper related skills, even in the backstory. GM just assumed it was there and I went. I fully expected to crash that thing in a field running from like the entire military. At this point in the game, having dropped the yacht, we are under no illusions as to what was going to happen next. The GM gave up the investigative undertones. We gave up on the disguising our war. I don't know why, but the GM refused to give us a cop-out. He didn't want us to just rage quit and go, rocks fall, everyone dies. The session ended with us dropping a yacht, and we all walked out of there fully expecting open warfare when we returned to the table. A week later, we met for the last time as a group after months of weekly games. It took Henderson about 3 weeks to completely destroy any semblance to a plot or a long-term goal. All that mattered at this point was that our deaths were long, glorious, and brutal. Ironically, it was the first time we all arrived at the table with the same expectations and enthusiasm. Mike wanted to see Henderson die, and the GM wanted to kill him. I wanted Simon to draw it out as long as possible. John wanted to see Will continuing to give zero fucks. In a way, we all succeed in our respective goals. The game picks up about 3 days after the dropping of the yacht. The remaining cultists begin to kill each other in open warfare, and the police and federal investigators are all flipping their shit over the blatant wizardry happening. In the midst of it all, we're hitting high priority targets and wreaking as much havoc as possible. The Buick is sacrificed as a car bomb to wipe out a police station filled with shoggoths. We manage to briefly steal a tank from the National Guard and drive right through a bunch of zombies in a shopping mall. Henderson updates his outfit, swapping the Hawaiian shirt for a leather jacket, the back of which is emblazoned with a gnome wearing aviators and throwing up the horns. He also dons a regular pair of gray cargo pants, since he would have more pockets then. Simon put on a tuxedo and refused to take it off, while Will donned a Flogging Molly t-shirt and a utilikit. Jimmy and Carrie, sadly, couldn't update their costumes. Their players were pulled out of the game at this point by Jim's parents in the real world, since they insisted on dragging them to some movie. We decided that meant that Henderson made Jimmy get the hell out of Dodge, commanding him to continue the good fight if it came to that. We went back to the abandoned hockey stadium we were using as a base, and loaded him up so he'd get out safe, then dropped him near a military evac zone where he met his family. We raided an Applebee's to get some food supplies, and then hit up a hardware store along the way. On the way back, we found out the bad guys have realized we're the cause of all their problems, and we're about to launch a coordinated strike against us. They breach the military line between us and them, and start to pour after us like a black sea of unthinkable horrors. Along the way, they started to reanimate the dead, and dying of both sides to join their charge. We managed to stay a half step ahead of all the way back home, occasionally taking a detour through a place like an abandoned shopping mall or the home and garden center at Lowe's. We get back, and then Henderson lifts up a gnome from the back of the truck. He smiles, and then sets it back down before turning to us.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
And with that, he made his way to the rink. Out of the shower, gonna get some small dinner, gonna make some tea and join y'all. Yes, absolutely. I hope your shower is wonderful and you feel big, strong, and brave, and clean, and that you get some delicious, delicious dinner. I have some sushi for a snack that I'm going to be using later. Speaking of sushi, I totally forgot to try my ring light. There we go. Now my ring light is on. Maybe that'll help a little bit. So big and so nice smelling. So big and so smells. Love that for you. Stinky. Stinky. We all knew then that it was a last stand scenario, and we started barricading the doors. We managed to get 3 of the 4 entrances almost unbeatable, but the 4th one was being broken open when Will and I got to it. Simon told him to go and make sure he took as many with him as he could, before walking into the mast to rejoin his wife. Will stole a Zamboni out of storage and set a new high score while running over zombies and throwing ammo and such to Henderson. When he died, they were forced to go over the machine he left to get onto the ice, where Henderson was waiting for them. He managed to kill a shitload of them, but then he saw they managed to get rid of Will's impromptu barricade. As if on cue, all 3 of the still locked entrances explode open, and a horde seemingly without number comes in. Nikuman, yeah, Japanese pork buns. Ooh, I still have those bao in my freezer as well if I wanted some of those, actually. I probably won't, because the sushi should be enough, and I might have some other snacks I might need, but I should remember those bao. I do have those. Love that for you, though. That's lovely. I'll be eating here, so I'll only be a bit as I prepare them and prepare the tea. Yeah. Do that so I can fully join you all soon. Yes, absolutely. Best of luck. Never showering again. Last time I did, I lost my glasses. I don't think that's the shower's fault, puppy. I don't think you can blame the shower for that. Well, totally agree, Debbie. Thank you for still being here. Or stopping back in, either way. Just realized I never ate today. Eat something, Sky. Eat something. Eat something. Hydrate. Get some rest. Make sure you took your meds as well. While we're speaking about forgetting things. Make sure, because I know you forget that sometimes, and it's very important to remember. Thank you, Snaky, for banning Sky. I appreciate it. Henderson smiled and called Hestur forward into the world and set the timers. As Hestur stepped forward, he got a rather unusual greeting. "Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free." The king in yellow pauses, while Mike apparently hits the limit of the internal clock he's been ticking off in his head. "All right, we win." "What?" The charges go off. I set them for 15 seconds. I needed to make sure he had enough time to arrive, but not enough time to actually arrive. "What?" He then broke it down and explained little pieces of information gleaned from investigative portions of the game, meticulous notes from months prior. Together, they painted a very obscure bit of information regarding the nature of the gods in this setting. "But that's... You bastard!" the GM accused dramatically, standing up and pointing. "You only just now noticed?" Mike returned, politely baffled. The GM then performed the first and only table flip I've ever seen in my years of gaming before leaving in a huff. "Forgot my meds too." "Yes, pot the meds, pot the meds, pot them all. And pot the mods as well." Do all that after the e-cards thing. No. Do that now, Sky. Do that now. E-cards can wait. E-cards can wait. It's not even Sunday for a bunch of people. E-cards can wait. Get your food. Get your meds. Those are important. Hydrate. Take care of yourself first and foremost. God damn it. And thank you for potting Snakey. I appreciate it. Fuck yeah. Get over here, Snake, and I will. Pot. Da-da-da. After a few moments of awkward silence, I realized that for all the bullshit, it wasn't really a satisfying ending. I'm not sure what drove me to do it, but I stood up, I picked up the table, and I moved to the now vacant GM's position. Thank you for the tongues. Henderson came to a few moments later, most of his body crushed in rubble. A few feet away, he notices another figure.
Sup?
He wheezes, while reaching into his coat with his one good arm, pulling out a joint he stashed away for future use. "I'm dying," the form replies, his voice weak. "I must commend you, human. I did not think you capable of such a task."
Yeah. You seem the type to know a lot. Something I learned early in life is that no one expects a sucker punch from someone they underestimate.
He then lights his slip with a smile.
True,
the form responds.
You know, I have been following you. You know I never took your gnomes.
Weather just suddenly pouring out of nowhere. Raining real hard out here? I see it. I can see it. I can imagine, I suppose. It's a little bit of rain. It's a little trickle. Just a little bit of a sprinkle of sorts, perhaps. But also, you best be taking care of yourself, Sky. You best be getting that food and those meds. Right now. Right now. Right now. Go. No time to waste. The e-cards will be waiting for you. Sunday will be waiting for you. You cannot wait. You should not wait. Go. Thank you, Puppy, for telling Stream Elements to enjoy their lurk. I appreciate it.
Fuck, really? Oh, now I feel like I might have overreacted a bit,
he says with a cough. He then passes the blunt to Hastur, who after only a moment's hesitation, accepts.
You apparently gave them up for a charity auction,
he informs him.
You know, I figured out everything but one little detail. Mind if I ask you a question?
What will you do if I don't stop my deliveries? I could always ban you. I could ban you until you tell me that you've done what you need to do. Because really, like legitimately, no jokes, taking your meds and getting food is way more important than sending out e-cards for a holiday that hasn't even happened for like half the country. Half of America, at the very least. It's way more important than that. They will still be there when the time comes. You'll still be able to get them out before then. You already do way more than you need to do for that. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Goes off to take food and gets food. Yeah. Go take your food and get your food and the meds, of course. Thank you, Sky. I appreciate it. I ain't afraid to ban people so they'll take care of themselves. I'll do it.
Shoot. Is Henderson your first or last name? Man, I've got no fucking idea.
Laughing, the man and the mad god died together moments later. Henderson's body was dragged from the rubble 2 days afterwards, and only Jimmy and Carrie and some old preacher man cared enough to attend his funeral. Waffle House Millionaire. To clarify in further detail, Henderson asked for them to not waste money on a corpse. His exact words were to just
toss me in an old sack or something and send me to the dump. Ain't nobody gonna mourn me or give two shits if I even lived.
Jimmy opted to get him a rather nice coffin and pay for a decent funeral, even if there was only the two of them there to mourn. It amounted to nothing, but I felt oddly touched that he felt obligated to make the gesture. Will was buried nearby, since they were apparently friends in life, and he didn't have much left in the world after his bar burnt down. Simon was quietly retrieved by his son and put to rest near his wife's grave a week later. Jimmy and Carrie managed to get into a nice college together, since the insurance from Henderson's life and homeowners insurance policies, as well as the money coming in from liquidating Will's assets, gave them a nice head start on life. Their story didn't quite end there, but I'll let that shit slide for now, since I know you guys only care about one epilogue. Henderson opened his eyes, fighting off a migraine God only knows how long later. He forces himself to his feet and squints around at the blank desert horizon. He looks at the mesas in the distance and the endless sands in every direction.
Well, I'm either in hell or Utah.
He lets out a deep sigh, realizing he's out of cigarettes.
Utah, knowing my luck.
He notices a town in the distance, and has no better idea on what to do next. He begins to wander in its direction.
Man, that better not be a fucking mirage.
A self-called nowhere. Alright, that's it then. The official end of the Old Man Henderson story. This was the definitive version, since neither I nor Waffle House Millionaire have much more to expand on from there. There is more in store for our hero, but it's not really just his tale anymore. Sometime in the future, I'll tell the story of the game I will never top as a GM. It was a first in many ways for me. It was the first game system I designed. Admittedly, it was mostly just Deadlands modded to hell. It was the first full game I ran. It was the first campaign I named going into it. It was a game so successful and loved by my players that every one of my main characters ended up getting their own spin-off campaign. So that's it for Henderson, but keep your eyes peeled for when I lay out the Kings of Nowhere. I'm not going to half-ass it like I did this one, since it's the campaign I feel that I need to do justice. I'll betray you any day of the week if it means you take care of yourself. Damn straight, puppy. Damn straight. Damn straight. And for that, we put out the shout-out hat and give Puppy another shout-out. Thank you, Puppy. Betrayal for the sake of people taking care of themselves. Nothing better. Damn, Old Man Henderson. Rip. Took you to pray. 100%. There is a little bit more down here. Eli Birding. Waffle House Millionaire. Right, so the tale of Old Man Henderson ended when he died. Or so I thought. A friend of mine gave me a call and asked me if I wanted to play in a game he was going to run. The premise was this. There were various people who were simply amazing during life, like how there's a normal engineer and then there's Tony Stark. There's a normal driver, and then there's the Stig. There's a normal detective, and then there's Sherlock Holmes. These people were basically heroes, like the ones of old, expressed in a new way. And when these legends die, they don't completely fade away. Sometimes when one dies with a job unfinished, they end up haunting a place. Some, when they die, they become martyrs for the cause, never fully removed from memory. And then there's the oddest cases, when two heroes clash and destroy each other. Their duel continues in another place, a place somewhere between life and death, heaven and hell. Here, their quarrel is settled properly, and the winner gets a second shot at life. I'm not going to tell the full campaign story here, since this isn't the time or place, nor have I had a chance to type it up properly. In the end, Henderson beat a vastly weakened Hastur and won his resurrection. Then he found out what happens to a god when it dies. It doesn't get an afterlife. It just stops existing, and then a new one takes its old place in the cosmos. So he did something that threw everyone for a loop. Hijacked Hastur's essence to contact another god. Nyarlathotep answered the call, since he just loves fucking with the established order of things. He cut a deal with Henderson. He'd bring them both back to life as normal humans, but he got to keep Hastur's power unless Hastur decided to claim it back. Henderson was then reborn into the mortal world. In his new life, he came across some knowledge that his childhood friend, Heather, was Hastur reborn, while simultaneously regaining all the memories of his past life. He then got Heather drunk, got her to reclaim her power, and sealed it in an amulet. Nyarlathotep does not appreciate the irony, and tries to send cultists to kill him, which is kind of like trying to put out a wildfire by dumping oil on it. Henderson was last seen at around age 17, grabbing Heather and using some weird ritual to throw them into a parallel universe that Nyarlathotep couldn't touch. You could also call young Old Man Henderson Eli Burning, since that's technically his name now that he's been reborn. Grr, rip puppy. Thank you for the tongues. Damn, Henderson's back. Henderson's back, baby! Fate of the Backstory of Doom. Anonymous request. Due to the epic levels of madness in this story, is it inappropriate for me to ask that Henderson's full backstory be put up somewhere? Because I really want to read it and have the backstory of Doom preserved for all time. Waffle House Millionaire. Fuck no. I burned that thing. It was evil. Seriously, the world is a better place without it. Anonymous. That may be true, but since when does anything about Henderson take the good of the world into account? The backstory is part of the legend. Old Man Henderson's story can't be told in full without its release. Besides, it's 320 pages. The only people who will read it are those who need to use Henderson as inspiration. Translation, have jackass GMs. Waffle House Millionaire. Nearly a year later. I burned that motherfucker. I'm pretty sure I've said that before. There's only ever existed one copy. It doesn't exist anymore, Anon. Take this up on the talk page if you really feel the need to keep doing this. You should have asked there to begin with. There's a bunch of debate about whether or not it's real or not, but who cares about that? Who cares about that shit? Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo. And we'll go back here. Because we're done reading now. That was the story of Old Man Henderson. Hope you all enjoyed that little ride we took together. And it was fun. There was a lot of neat stuff in there. Wasn't expecting most of that. How could I? And now we're going to begin to play a video game. Or very shortly. You know what? I'm not desperate for it, but now could be a good time to take a very quick break in between reading and in between playing video games. I did enjoy it. Love to hear it. So we're going to go to BRB for just a moment. I'm going to use the restroom, refill some hydration, maybe grab my sushi while I'm out there. We'll come back. This is a perfect time for all of you to use the restroom, grab yourself some snacks, do whatever you need to do. Do not miss me. I will not be gone too long. Just a few minutes, few moments, and we'll be right back for some video games, some video gaming. Be right back.